is up, bros? I'm Caleb.
And I'm Jonathan.
And we are a couple of bros that are going to be critiquing how shitty people are at the movie theaters today. Welcome to the All Bros podcast. Today we are joined by two special guests. DJ, our unofficial, or I think we officialized that, official third
official
host, and then return of the great Jason Alme.
What up? What up?
Hell yeah. Dude, I haven't heard you on like a free show in forever.
I don't think you've heard me on a paid show in a while either.
Yeah,
I do have a show though, and I got a YouTube, and they're both out there for free. So they're available to you. Pop Culture Mass, Movie Mass on YouTube and Apple and shit. So I mean, I'm just saying.
When did the last episode come out?
You could check easily on your smartphone. I think there's been at least 2 episodes since 2023. Look, I put 3, just for your information, DJ. I have 4 that I released in October. I released 4 episodes on Pop Culture Mass in October for your information. None yet in November, but I'm working on that. All right.
Listen, I have no room to talk. The Untrained Eye, the podcast that brought me to this show to begin with, has not had an episode come out since November of 2023.
Also, dragging the table is dragging the bottom of my goddamn podcast app.
Dude, of all of ours, I mean, holy shit.
That was a deep cut right there. That was a deep pull. I went hard for that.
We love you, DJ. Don't worry.
It's true.
Dude,
I
just tell you,
I got
totally
so
missed
excited.
My audio went out. Bastard. Listen, I almost canceled again because I thought this was some kind of trick or a ploy to get us on the same episode. Like, oh, Jason hasn't gotten back to us yet. I don't know what I'm saying.
All right. Well, like we said, we're going to be talking about movie theater etiquette this week. We're actually going to make a full-blown list that I'm going to be like, I'll create a little something for it. But yeah, we're going to create like a whole little outline of what the rules of the movie theater are.
And DJ and I are here to represent the movie theaters in the black neighborhoods, right? So that's what DJ and I are doing here, correct? That's what I thought.
I for one enjoy people yelling at the screen.
I love it, man. I love it because that's I feel like that's me too, right?
Need motivation? Angry Dad Podcast. Trying to jumpstart your life? Angry Dad Podcast. You want help getting off the couch? Angry Dad Podcast. You need a verbal kick in the ass? Angry Dad Podcast. You want to hear from somebody who's been through it all? Angry Dad Podcast. I am here for you. You can find me on all podcast platforms.
Listen, I've never been to a Rocky Horror Picture Show, where you throw spoons at the whatever. I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's amazing. I would enjoy it.
I went to see Django Unchained, and me and my buddy Ross were the only 2 white dudes in that theater. And let me tell you, it was pretty uncomfortable, but also a lot of fun. It was a strange mix, because there was a lot of celebrating during that film. A lot of pistolas being shot up in the sky. A lot of celebrating.
Oh, man.
Sat near the back. I was like slinking down on the chair like this. Like, oh my God, I don't look like Leonardo DiCaprio at all. Don't fucking
apologize for my people.
Yeah. I apologize for my general pallor right now. My correct use of grammar, but I'm fucking hiding. Yeah, that was a very fun experience. It was in Atlanta, Georgia, too. So I mean, like, we're talking about Atlanta. So yeah, I mean, it was fucking ATL. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'd be a very risky movie to go see around there.
I don't know what I was thinking. I walked in there like a babe, like a newborn babe, just like an idiot. Like, let's go see Django Unchained. It's Quentin Tarantino movie. I like that guy. Fucking walked in and was like, fucking record screeched. I was like, why are you guys playing a record in here? It's a movie. The movie's about to begin. And record screeched. Everyone started putting out their fucking joints real quick. I was like, no, I'm cool. I'm not.
Promise. Yeah, you can take your Ray-Bans off. I'm not a cop, I swear.
I look a lot like the man. but I am not the man. So don't worry. You gentlemen can keep smoking your marijuana.
Yeah. So there's only one rule that me and Rose have agreed upon is the number one rule of movie theater etiquette. And that is shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
It is so rare to hear Caleb say fuck, so you know that he means business.
He means business. Damn.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this, just generally speaking, not just that one particular rule, because I think it's a good rule and an important rule. But do you guys believe that rules are meant to be broken?
No.
Not in this case.
Not these ones.
I'm in the minority here because I do believe rules are meant to be broken.
Listen. Yes, in the sense that, like I just said, the Rocky Horror Picture thing. I'm sure there are other movies where you go to see them, and there's like some kind of cult thing that everyone does, where they're like, we all brought I don't know, tulips or something that we all stand up and do a 360 and throw them behind our shoulder. If you're going to see Avengers Endgame, and the girl beside you is going to her boyfriend the whole first 20 minutes, who is that? Wait, is that Rocket? It wasn't Rocket. What about, is he going to get the stones now? What happens now? And you have to, no, there is no time to break rules on a new movie.
Okay, so that's one of those instances that you painted right there, DJ, that I would say that's not a good instance of like rules are meant to be broken. Because if you break a rule, you got to break it in like a good way. That's like, you can't be like that girl who's like asking her boyfriend, like, why is that raccoon talking? Are the shrooms kicking in? Did you dose me again? You son of a bitch. I am not letting you have anal tonight if you dose me. See, that'd be pretty funny. I would think that would be like, that's a rule that's okay to break if you can be funny about it. Like when the black lady's yelling on the screen, like, bitch, get out of there. Don't go up there. The killer's gonna fucking cut your titties off with a rusty knife, bitch. Like to me, that's funny. So it's like a good breaking of the rule because now I'm laughing.
Like in Scary Movie with Brenda in the movie theater.
Correct. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
I saw, what was it? What was the second in the sequel trilogy called? Rise of the Jedi. What was it called? The one everybody hated.
The Last Jedi.
Yeah,
The Last Jedi. There was a moment where BB-8 pulls the like tarp or whatever off of R2-D2, and it's silent for a second, and a little kid somewhere in the theater somewhere was like, "Is that his uncle?" And like the whole theater lost it. And like that is like the perfect example, I think, of like, that little kid can break that rule.
I think if you hit it like that, you get one per movie, right? You can't just break the rule of the whole movie. You get one, and if it's that silent moment and somebody comes in with like a good zinger and it's not long, it's just a few words, boom. It really does improve the experience for me. Because like it's a communal thing too. Like I can watch a movie alone at home. I can eat Chinese food with no pants on at home too. But I'm at the theater because I want to be seated amongst my peers, such as you.
Not today. Shit. For everyone just listening, the ghost of Christmas Past just took Jason Alme all the way out of the stream.
What just happened, bro?
The best comedic timing in the world just happened.
I can't wait to listen back and hear it. I'm just fucking yapping the whole time, and then all your faces disappear, and I'm like, and then you come right back and you're laughing like I time skipped like 5 minutes, and you guys said a funny joke and I missed it. That's not good etiquette.
So you would love to see a movie with us and action.
and action. Yeah, it's a communal experience is all I'm saying. So like some of that, like the etiquette is an important topic, which is why I was interested in discussing it with you guys. But then also like, I don't know, I'm a big rules are meant to be broken sometime kind of guy. And if you got a funny zinger for Thanos, I'm all about that life.
I think there's one zinger allowed per movie. Like you can't have some dude like freaking practicing his type 5 in the back, like every time there's a pause in the movie.
Yeah.
Like you get one, like that little kid yelling, is that or is that his uncle? That's the one. No one else gets to make a joke the entire rest of the movie.
Yeah, you don't want to like come in when they're taping an episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000 and you're sitting behind these goons and they're just fucking talking the whole time. You're like, shut the fuck up. Come on, man.
Yeah. And like DJ said, there's some instances where it's like, yeah, where you're going to like one of those cult following movies, like those experiences where people do a certain thing, like a sing along or whatever. Like those are like outside of the realm of normal movie going. Like those are like you're going for the event, the experience or whatever. Like this is just like, hey, a new movie's out in theaters. I'm going to go check this out. Like it doesn't really have a following new. Yeah.
Yeah, that's important. You got to catch the dialogue.
You know, speaking of sing-alongs, just I want to run this by you guys. So with Wicked coming out this weekend, a lot of people are like telling fans, even movie theaters are saying, please don't sing along. We know you guys know these songs by heart, but please don't sing along. There's a sing-along coming in December.
I don't necessarily agree with that.
I'll say this. I don't either.
Okay.
In a rare move, I agree with DJ.
I mean, that's part of the reason why you're there to begin with is like it's like going to Hamilton and being like that's the movie, right? Hamilton or the show.
Yeah.
And telling people like, hey, I know you've seen the show a billion times and you have the soundtrack, but when he starts talking about Alexander Hamilton, like you just shut your mouth and you hold on to your playbill and don't say anything. Like, shut up. You're going to sing. You just are like,
I mean, if I walk in that theater and he tears my tickets and he's like, you fucking sit there silently, motherfucker. I'd be like, don't you fucking tell me what to do. Just because you told me not to now. I don't even know the words. I'm going to fucking sing because I ain't never seen Wicked now one fucking time. But guess what? I'm going to fucking sing anyway. I'm going to be like the only motherfucker in there like fucking hypnotized, like singing Biggie Smalls lyrics and shit. Everybody else is going to be like, the fuck? I'm like, it's cool. She green.
Yeah. This is like, with a movie like Wicked, you know that the people that know those songs by heart and are probably going to sing along are going to go to like the event viewings like that. Like they're going to be there opening weekend.
Yeah.
The later viewings, like that's when you want those people to go. But if you're coming in on like a Wednesday with like a group of 5 people in a theater that's basically empty, maybe don't.
Yeah, specifically with Wicked, let me ask you guys this. What do you suppose the percentage of, the ratio, the percentage of like gay to straight is going to be in your average screening of Wicked? Is it going to be at least 50% gay? Or you think it might be like 70?
It's 80-20. Yeah, it's
80-20. So how are you going to tell a gay person not to sing too? They're gay. That's where the word comes from. They're going to sing. Them motherfuckers are going to sing. You can't, like all my gay friends, try telling any one of my gay friends not to sing. First of all, they're going to sing. And then second of all, they're going to slap your mouth for telling them not to sing. And then they're going to sing about it.
The problem arises when, like, I don't know how many of you guys have been in church next to the lady or the fella that is like, I don't just want to sing this one. I want to let Jesus know that I should have been signed to a record label and I am going to sing louder than I should. And I'm going to sing with vibrato that isn't there. And I don't necessarily realize that I don't have the skill to sing, but I'm going to sing loud enough so that Christ himself can hear me.
So basically that was Caleb. My children. Just describe both of my fucking kids. I'm just gonna fucking belt this shit out at the fucking heavens. Don't know half the fucking words, even though you've seen Moana 47 times. How do you not know the fucking words?
Caleb, were you a loud singer at church? Is that what I'm gathering?
No,
Caleb, don't lie. Come on,
dude, shut the fuck up, dude. I've opened those freaking floodgates, and I'm just letting them fly now. No, I did not like singing anywhere, even like when it was like a choir situation. Like, no, like I did not care for singing. But
so I'm pretty sure if we sat together and like we were both singing, I'm pretty sure he was mouthing the words. Honestly,
no, dude, that's what I did 100%. I was raised Catholic, dude. I was just miming them fucking words. I just started pretending I was in a box too. I'm like miming everything. I'm completely silent. I'm like quietly ejaculating, just like the priest. I mean,
they're
shit.
not quiet.
I just like I'm Catholic. I'm like, why are y'all here to sing? Can I just drop this check off and go? Like, I'm just here to make right with the Pope, right? Like, let me just drop the check off and I'll leave. I'll get out of your way. I don't need to breathe up any of the air in here. Let me just go. I'll drop off the check and then, I'll rub baby Jesus' toes on the way out or whatever. You get a little baby Jesus statue, I'll rub his toes. You rub his toes, then that's good. You tickle the baby Jesus and drop off your check and then you leave. That's church etiquette if you're Catholic.
He's right. I grew up Catholic.
DJ knows.
What's the Mormon equivalent of that? What would you say, Caleb?
I don't know if there is. They freaking guilt us into staying the full time.
Dude, hey, that Heretic movie I told you guys I saw, man. That one's about some Mormons. It's got some Mormons in it. It's about 2 Mormon missionaries, and they're fucking hot too.
That's one I'm pretty excited to check out.
Yeah, holler at me after you see it. I don't want to derail this particular episode, but holler at me after you see it because I want to yell about it.
Yeah,
dude, hell yeah. All right,
Eddie, shut the fuck up. Are we going to go down the line? Are we going to each give a rule?
I say that's how we freaking do it.
So Rose's turn?
Yeah, Rose. What's your number 2?
I feel the only screen that you should be paying attention to is the film screen in front of you. It irritates the hell out of me when I see phones throughout. And especially like if you paid to be here. It's not like this was a free event.
Yeah.
So especially if you're like seeing it at night where those show times can be up to $20 if you're seeing it in XD or IMAX. So you're paying $20 to be on your fucking phone. That's stupid.
So are you talking directly to Caleb? Because we know this is his job, right?
Listen, he's not talking to me. He's talking to my wife.
Don't throw your wife under the bus. She's not.
I will absolutely throw her under the bus. For this particular instance, yeah. Her ass is getting thrown way under the bus.
I'm sure if we go back to the tape and listen to maybe the second or third episode I was ever on, it was me giving you a ration of shit because you're like, I had to check my phone real quick. I didn't look. I did it under my shirt. Nobody saw it. I swear to God. And the babysitter, shut it. You did it. You do it. This is you. We're talking about you, Caleb.
Look, it was a very intense game of Candy Crush. I had to try to finish that level. The movie unfortunately began before I finished the level of Candy Crush, but this is important.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I think it's kind of sad these days that like people are they're so addicted to their phone, but then also what comes with that is the glut of short form content that I believe is ruining us as a species, especially the children.
Yeah.
Or it's going to give birth to the next phase of entertainment. You never know.
Yeah, could be. That's why The Irishman felt so goddamn long. You're used to
it didn't feel long. That's like saying walking across America feels long. It was long.
No. If you walked across America, that would feel long as fuck. It would take you like a month, and you'd be like, "Fuck, that was a long ass month."
And that movie would still be going.
Robert De Niro would still be slowly and feebly curb stomping a guy who was so accommodating. Here, let me lay my head on the curb for you, Bob. Oh, yes. Hold on. Get me again. That fucking curb stomp scene was the worst. I got that movie over there. It's a long movie.
It was only 47 and a half hours. I mean, if you have a couple of days to watch one movie, you're good.
Yeah, I had to watch it in 3 sittings. Today, I went to the store. I went to Barnes and Noble.
For the first time. Sorry.
I got a 7 Samurai today on 4K. That one's a long one too. I'm about to fucking try and sit through that. It's like a minute. It's going to take a minute. But yeah, I think the short form content has kind of ruined people's attention spans. And that's why I think people whip out their phones during the movies. Because I'm like, you can't fucking just enjoy it like 90 minutes of a long form entertainment. But I think people have a hard time with it for real.
No, that's why like when they say like, silence your phone, like I turn my phone completely off and I make anyone that's with me also turn it off. Like it's great. My nephew, of course, he's got a girlfriend now. He's like, I gotta leave it on. what if she texts me or something? I'm like, well, then you can't save her. You don't even have a car. So turn it off.
Plus, you need to tell him that sets a bad precedent anyway. That you're willing to like just put down the shit you're doing. Like, I'm in a movie, man. Like, if you're stuck on the side of the road, I'll come help you. But like, come on, man. Don't be like, if you text me a tit picture while I'm in a movie, I'll fucking fap to it when I get out. But I'm not gonna fap to that tit pic until this movie is done, because I gotta respect the filmmakers.
You shouldn't even know it came through until you turn your phone back on.
Exactly.
After the final credits roll, you've seen the after credits scene for The Irishman 2, and you're done. The lights come up and it's time to go, and your phone comes on.
Yeah,
that really was like the Martin Scorsese end game, though. It was like he brought back he got everybody back. Fucking Joe Pesci, they wheeled Joe Pesci's ass back in, and he's like, all right, fucking, I'll do this last one just for you, Marty.
Dude, phones are hard. It's hard because I'm not backtracking. For those of you that don't know the story, I think it was my mom was freaking calling me, and like during the Quiet Place, which is like the worst movie for this to happen. She was calling me, and I had my phone on silent, like you're supposed to. And yeah, but I had it like where the screen was facing out, and so I could see the light from my pocket. So I reached in and I flipped my phone around so it was screen up against my leg, and then I went back to watching the movie. But then my mom called my wife, and so my wife pulled her phone out because new baby and everything. This was like one of our first nights out with so she pulled her phone out, pulled it out, like tucked in her jacket, looked at it, and she was just like, "Hey, it's your mom." And I was like, "All right, just handle it." Like, and she just like hung up, put it back or whatever. And then the lady that was like 2 seats down, like threw the biggest bitch fit about it because because she said that it like distracted her. And I'm like, how? Like, I couldn't even see that she was looking at her screen.
I don't know if it's autism or ADD or what, but when I get into a movie theater, my peripheral vision widens so far that I do see if there is someone that is in my row or in front, if they take their phone out, if there's any light, I see it even if they like put up their smartwatch and they're just looking at it, like I'll see that light, and it makes me want to just make people not want to go to the movies anymore after what I do to them, because it's
yeah. I recommend being intoxicated at the theaters, so that way it
sounds like fun.
You don't notice that stuff as much.
By the way, that was my next rule: is no booze until you get to the theater.
Ooh, I want to hear your rule.
I mean, are we done with screens? Because I can murder those people all day.
I'm not super upset at the screen people, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know that. Like the situation that Caleb just described, kind of, it's sort of the same thing. The same boat I'm in. I got 2 young kids that are pretty much same ages as his, and it's like just kind of ruins you for going to see movies because, the minute you get in, like Murphy's Law, somebody's gonna be like, "Yo, your fucking kid is." I got a question. Am I supposed to feed him the red one or the blue one and shit like that?
He's vomiting green now. What does that mean?
Yeah.
I think the screen is more acceptable if both parents are out together. And also, I think real dependent on the age of the kids. Like if they're teenagers, fuck it.
Caleb has said fuck more than me this episode, and this is like, this is amazing. This is monumental.
Yeah. Listen,
I told you the floodgates have been open, dude.
You're not necessarily wrong, but here's the move. You make sure that the screen is pointed towards your leg in your pocket, and if you feel it buzz, just politely get up and excuse yourself. Don't pull it out and be like, let me make sure it's an emergency. Hey, if you think it's an emergency, go step outside. Don't make me look at you because you got a light on. Because here's the thing. It's not that I don't think anyone's mad at the quick look, but you're not the first person that's pulled their phone out, if that makes sense. Because there's always that guy. I was sitting next to that guy once, and thankfully for me, he was so much bigger than me that I was like, it is not worth it to tell you anything, sir. You can have your phone out as long as you want. But I wanted to like have some brass knuckles in my pocket that I just pulled out and just started punching him in his face until he couldn't see the phone anymore and be like, hey, was that text worth it? Anyway, I'm going to continue enjoying Ant-Man or whatever I'm watching. Thank you for this. It was Deadpool and Wolverine, by the way, the second viewing. That's the only reason why I didn't actually say anything, because I was like, I have seen this movie. My nephew is to my right. This idiot is to my left, so he can't actually see the phone. So it's fine, I guess.
Yeah. Like, I
Very
think
magnanimous of
overall,
you.
quick is like a quick look is fine as long as you attempt to hide it in some way, shape, or form.
I think that's important too. Like, you know, you ought to at least, if you seem like you're kind of ashamed of yourself a little bit, then it's like, oh, it's okay. He's not being flagrant about it. He's got it up against his leg, or she's got it in between her tits, and she's like looking down. She got her chin mashed in between her tits, and she's got the phone up under there. As long as they're like going through some pains to like conceal it, even if they're doing it very poorly, then I'll give them credit. I'm like, look, they tried, they gave it a shot, you know. And as long as they just do a quick look, I'm like, look, they did a quick look, and I can tell they feel bad. I'm not gonna say shit. I'm gonna let them get away with it.
Yeah. And I think as long, like, if you have to do it during like a bright scene where everything is illuminated, like, you're not going to notice one extra light down in the corner or whatever. Like, if everything's freaking like out in the sun and some shit. Where my wife, where she checked it, I mean, it was a freaking quiet place, so it was like in the middle of the night in the movie, and so yeah, she like her little light illuminated a lot, and so yeah, I understand why why that lady was pissed, but this lady also took it a little too far.
I need to check
Like-
my phone, but I'm waiting for a fade to black.
Yeah. Sorry, I dropped my earring. Hold on, I'm looking for it. Oh God.
Yeah.
Wait, do the theaters that you guys normally go to, are they what is it? What's it called? Like, you buy your seat in advance, like you don't have to look for a seat, it's
assigned
reserved seating.
seating?
Yeah. And here's the best thing, like, because this is how it is near me. Do they have like the recliner chairs too?
The one I
you can
usually
just,
go to
push the
does,
button.
yeah.
Yep.
You push the button, it's like bzzz.
Dude,
My wife
life
fell
has
asleep in
changed.
that thing. The first time we went to, they like revamped our theater years ago, and they put one of them in. And the very first time we went to see a movie at the theater after they put those recliners in, my wife fucking fell asleep during Wonder Woman Part 1.
Dude, those are super comfortable. We took our nephews years and years ago to see Captain Underpants, and man, I freaking laid back. I heard that guy say diarrhea von Poopenstein, and I laughed, and the next thing I knew, the credits were rolling.
All right, so I think our rule number 2 could be, if you have to check your phone, be quick and shameful.
Be shameful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick and shameful
Total
is
shame,
exactly.
Make a face like this pains you, like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, and I give a little like, oh, sorry guys.
Yeah, a little like,
to anyone who's like looking in your general direction.
yeah. If someone says something, just be like, yo, I'm a fucking prick and I should get run over after this. Okay. Like, what do you want? I understand I'm a piece of shit. Okay. Don't gotta fucking tell me. I know, my kids know, my wife knows, they all know I'm a piece of shit. I'm so fucking sorry.
That's why I'm here alone.
They already left me. Okay. I'm already miserable in my life.
This is supposed to be my weekend, but I really
Bro,
wanted
do
to
you guys,
see the
you
opening.
guys understand like how fucking happy I would be if it was just me at the theater? Like, just
Oh,
me all by
dude.
myself. I got the fucking popcorn. I got the Coke. I'm not sharing with nobody. Nobody's fucking, I didn't pay $57 for 4 fucking tickets. I'd be so
Yeah.
happy.
It is nice. I will fully
It's-
admit it.
It's
So
very.
nice.
You have done it before though, right, Jason?
What, like go see a
Deal.
movie by myself or?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like recently, like Deadpool and
Okay,
Wolverine.
yeah.
I went to see. I was traveling. I was actually out of town for a conference, and like I had Monday was just, there was nothing until like that evening. So I was like, dude, what am I doing after lunch? I'm fucking going to. I went to see Deadpool and Wolverine at 1:00 in the afternoon by my fucking self. It was excellent. It was so good.
Hell yeah.
My wife isn't as super into movies as I am, so I get to go to the movie theater by myself a lot.
Yeah, I don't go a lot by myself because while my wife is not as into films as I am, just like your situation, my wife has a problem with me enjoying my life. Yeah, she kind of has a problem. Like, I'm gonna go see a movie by myself, and I think on paper that sounds okay to her.
No.
She's like, okay, you're gonna go see a movie by yourself. That's fine. But when she sees the smile on my face as I'm like grabbing the keys, she sees this smile and she's like, "Oh no, motherfucker, I'm coming with you." No, don't. I want to go see this movie. She's like, "No, motherfucker, we're going to see this other movie."
We're going to see
Shit.
Barbie again.
I've never seen Barbie. I haven't seen that
It was
one.
good. It was very
It
good.
was really good.
Yeah.
I have not ever seen it. I'm
There
trying
was
to
a
avoid
point.
it.
There was a point in that movie where I'm certain you were supposed to be on drugs to watch it because I'm pretty sure we watched her be born from like like in a 2001 Odyssey. Well, it started with like that homage to Kubrick, but like there was like I don't know. I can only describe it as her being born. Watch that movie. It's the weirdest movie you'll ever
If
watch.
I do, I'm gonna eat some of the shrooms I got upstairs.
You should.
I'm gonna
I
grab
mean,
balls while I watch Barbie.
We broke that one down with Beth. It's great episode.
It was.
remember Bethany, the literal better half. I'm sorry she couldn't be here tonight.
All right, what's rule number 3, DJ?
Rule number 3 kind of ties into rule number 1 because the situation that I gave you about Endgame and what is that raccoon doing there. This was a thing that happened to me, and this was 2 people that walked in like what's the word? I could smell the booze on them as they were sitting down.
Excellent.
And they were talking as like the credits were rolling, but I was like, surely as soon as the movie actually starts, they're going to shut their traps. Nope, they did not at all. And it was Beth was sitting to my left, the husband boyfriend was sitting to my right, and his girlfriend wife was sitting to his right. And I just kept hearing her try to whisper, but doing that just drunk whisper of like, and is he getting the stones now? I thought he had all the stones. Where are the stones? And then she just started narrating what was happening. And now he's got them. What is he? Oh, look, and he's doing that. And I just leaned over in a moment of weakness. I should have just said nothing. I should have just done nothing. But I leaned over and I was like, hey, we don't need you to narrate the entire movie as we're seeing it. We're actually watching it in real time. And her boyfriend, husband, whoever looked at me, and he reeked of booze. And he looked at me like, I'm going to punch your face into the back of your skull. And all I could think was, all right, it's time to just look forward and pretend like that just is what I do. And that's exactly what I did. And I just looked straight forward and just kept watching the movie. And I felt him like burning daggers into me the whole time. And his girlfriend tried to say one more thing. And I knew I had done it because he was like, shh.
You know what that means? That means he's your bitch. He shushed his woman for you. He shushed his woman for DJ because he didn't want to upset DJ. That means he's your bitch. You should have called him Whiskey Dick the whole rest of the night. Like, enjoy your night. When you guys get home, enjoy not making love, Whiskey Dick. That fucking drank.
Can I tell you, I was so full of anxiety at that point because I was like, this guy's gonna punch me. Like, I'm just gonna be sitting there watching the movie, enjoying it, and he's gonna punch me in my face. And to his credit, he did not. But all of this to say, if you're going to drink, I'm all for drinking at the movies. Just wait till you get there. Don't pregame. Like, you don't have to pregame, or if you do, don't pregame so hard that you are shit faced when you show up. But like, just
how do you feel about other substances? Because I'm definitely guilty of not just alcohol, but also other things. And sometimes with those things being like federally illegal and certainly not something that you can buy at the theater, you kind of almost have to pregame that shit. What do you think about that?
So I'll open it to, instead of just saying don't drink, I'll just say like nothing that's going to make you. I don't know that I would want to be sitting next to someone on Molly.
Yeah.
to just all of a sudden they just
Oh.
like, yeah, their head is on my shoulder and they're just like, oh my
I
god.
mean, yeah, I know.
Just sitting there, just running their hands through your beard.
It brings up so many things I want to talk about
War is hot
during this
again.
episode, but
Oh god.
I think you do have to choose your drugs specific for the occasion. Like you have to
Yes.
know I'm going to see a movie, so I want to choose substances that are going to help me to sit and watch the fucking movie and not make me want to like either jerk myself off or blow the guy next to me or dance or whatever.
Listen, you should never there. I can't think of a movie that you would need to or want to watch on coke, except for maybe like Wolf of Wall Street towards the middle.
Yeah. Let me tell you about a mistake I made one time, guys. You can tell me how badly I fucked up. It's gonna be obvious. I don't know why I did this, but I obtained some edible marijuana from a friend of mine some years back. And I'm still not like a professional with edible marijuana, but at the time I was a complete noob when it came to eating weed. And so I really didn't know how much of it to have. It was like an edible granola, which is also weird. Well, I was like, why does it have to be granola? You make it like all healthy and shit. Like I'm gonna feel like I gotta eat the whole thing. And so it can't be just like an edible. It's weird. Like it used to be like when I was in high school, it's just like they made edibles. It was just brownies. You would just eat a brownie and get high as fuck. And now it's like we've got edible fucking whole grain fucking wow, what? Like I don't
Honey bunches of oats.
granola. Yeah. Why is it granola? So anyway, I eat this granola and I eat way too much, but I did it right before going to see the movie It.
Oh no.
Yes, I eat all this weed and then I drive to the theater, right? Like because the weed takes a minute to kick in, but it kicks in when I get to the theater. And me and my wife are like, we're like walking like animals trying to get into the fucking like quadrupeds, like putting my hands down on the ground and shit to get our popcorn. And we're standing in line and we're just looking at each other like, what the fuck is happening? And we go sit down for the movie and we're just like, all right, we're gonna see the movie It. You know, the one about the clown with the big fucking teeth and he eats a little kid in the first 5 minutes of the movie. And we're just both like this. Like you can't see me gripping the arm of my chair, but we're like gripping the fucking seat. Like,
dude, you're giving me a panic
like
attack just thinking about this.
It was like 2 hours of just pure anxiety, like pure hellish, like I was breathing like that the whole movie. And I think everybody in that theater was like, is he fucking okay? Do we need to call an ambulance? He's breathing funny. Like he's not making much noise. He's certainly not looking at his phone. But what the fuck is wrong with this guy? And we fucking like turned into animals during that movie. I need to rewatch that film.
This wasn't the most current It, was it?
It was the first of the two most current hits. It was
my
chapter
god,
1.
dude!
Yeah,
No,
it was a bad idea. It was I don't know why I thought it was a good idea, but it was one of those things that like seems like a good idea. Like we're gonna go see a movie. Let's eat some weed, and then you get there and you're just like, and then the guy turns into his mouth turns into fucking spikes and shit, and like razor blades, and it opens all wide. And Bill Skarsgård is fucking weird as fuck anyway, so he's doing a great job, and you're just like, I made a fucking bad choice. Weed is already in me. Like all this weed is in me. I got fucking THC. My heart's going dunk, 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 dunk. And it's like THC, 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 just pushing it all through my fucking brain. And it's like edible. So it's like, okay, get ready to be high for the next 17 fucking hours.
I was gonna say, did that movie seem like it was 43 hours long? Because I got to imagine 13 minutes in, you're like, it must be close to over.
Yeah, I started like writing. You know how like the guy on the desert island starts writing the fucking notes? I'm like writing on the fucking side of the chair. I'm like, it's been 47 weeks. I've been fucking trapped in the film pit. Just fucking watching this clown Pennywise devour children over and fucking over again. And dude, it was a wild experience. That was a mistake. Blade Runner 2049. We ate some weed before going to see that one. That was a better one for eating some weed.
So you've helped me refine what I'm saying. Then it's kind of no pre-gaming unless it's that kind of situation, but definitely no first times. You know what I mean? You're like, hey, I've never done this substance before. Let me try all of it now and then go into public for hours at a time, even if it's in a dark room.
Yeah. You gotta know how that shit affects you.
Well, because listen, there is a difference. Like, there's a difference even between. I remember the first time, because I always smoked like joints or blunts when I was a child, and then the first time that I took a hit off of one of those like giant like 2-foot water bongs, I'm like, let me show you idiots how to smoke like a real man, and I freaking took this whole thing to the head and passed away. I just
I left this, like that with fucking Winnie the Pooh when he goes out of his body and just that's like a DJ, dude.
I left this earthly plane and I thought I was never coming back, and that's it. That would be the same if I was like right before I went in to go and see, you know, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and was like, everybody watch this, gah, and just took that to the head and went in there and just. Guys, I didn't see any movie, but I did see God himself. He spoke.
I fucking I do. That's the one thing I do love about smoking it better though, because it's in and out faster. I think when you eat it, it's just like, all right, this shit is fucking in you.
You're in there for the long haul.
Yeah. Your international flight, you're gonna be high for the whole fucking 20 hours. You know, you're like, shit, I'm gonna do this next time I fly to China. I'm gonna do that shit.
So I would say normally, because I'm sure I've been in theaters with people that are high on any number of substances, but I would say then maybe I would bring it back to just like, if you're going to drink, wait till you get there. Just wait till you, what's the word? Be responsible with your substances. Maybe that would be the rule.
Yeah.
You know,
I haven't always done that.
And you're not, listen, nobody's going to be, some days you're going to be the, you know, is that his uncle kid? You just got to make sure that, you know, you're not being too obnoxious.
Yeah, I feel you. Do you guys have any movies that like, you refuse to watch sober? Is there any movies you're like, I gotta be fucked up for this one? I'm not watching it sober. If you want to watch this movie, we're getting fucked up. If you want to stay sober, we're not watching this movie.
I'll tell you one you should never watch on anything other than life, and that is the movie Requiem for a Dream. You should never,
it feels
ever
appropriate to watch that one on drugs.
No, you should absolutely not. I feel like that's the one that's even worse than watching it. Have you guys seen Caleb and Rose? Have you seen Requiem for a Dream?
I'm looking that up real quick.
It's the one with Jennifer Connelly. And
look for the double. Google the double dong scene. Google Requiem for a Dream. Double dong, you're gonna like it. They're going butt to butt, and they got nice juicy butts bouncing. Boom, 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 boom. It's nice. You're gonna like it.
It's
okay. No,
that's one of those movies where you're like, that was the first movie that I ever watched that I was like, oh, movies don't have happy endings sometimes. Sometimes they're worse than when they started.
It's bleak as shit, but I kind of feel like, you know, with respect to the characters, it's hard to watch them sober. I got a movie that I refuse to watch sober. I watched it sober once, and it was fucking weird and uncomfortable. And that is Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
I have never. Honestly, the only movie I've ever seen on anything was Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and that's a great movie to watch high.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I watch every movie sober.
I think I'm the same with Caleb. Like, you know, I've drank in the past, but I don't think I've ever watched a movie intoxicated.
Why do you?
Although I feel. Wait, what?
Okay, they just keep winking. For anyone just listening, they're just winking. Wink, 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 wink. I've never done drugs. Wink, 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 wink.
My question is, like thinking of, you know, like bad movies that you absolutely hated, but like you think might be at least enjoyable while intoxicated or high. How do you guys feel about Borderlands? Do you think that would improve that movie at all, or do you think it would still be dog shit?
I ain't never seen it.
I've never seen it either, but I bet it would improve it.
I doubt it.
What I will say is that I find that I like to do drugs and drink during films because it enhances my enjoyment of the film, in my opinion. And so, like, for me, I want to make a good movie better. And I thought it was going to be great, so I ate some weed, and that was not a good idea. But you know, I think if there's a bad movie, I'm like, I'm just going to avoid it and watch a good movie. And eat a little weed, and
And I said earlier, there's no movies that you should watch on Coke. I was wrong. Fear and Loathing, you probably should watch.
Oh yeah,
Pretty loaded.
on anything Fear and Loathing is the movie that you watch on anything you can get your hands on, as much as you can get your hands on, as many different things as you can get your hands on,
and as
That
much
is
as you can
Fear and
stand. Yeah.
Oh,
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is meant to be a crucible. It's meant to be a test of your fortitude. Okay, can you survive this film?
Right.
I've seen the first 45 minutes of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas 100 times. I've seen the last 30 minutes of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas 3 times. You want to guess why? I have never started that movie before midnight.
Oh my
I
god!
don't watch it sober. I do not make the end of that film, guys. I fucking do the Winnie the Pooh gif, and I just leave my body and float away. You know, my body's still there, like.
I gotta watch that movie again. I haven't seen that in years.
I just bought it on 4K like a week ago. I've been upping my fucking 4K game on Criterion's this month because they're 50% off at Barnes and Noble. I got Risky Business on 4K. I got fucking Double Indemnity on 4K. Booyah! Billy Wilder, dog. 1944.
I couldn't spell indemnity if it cost me everything. Couldn't do it. Does it start with an E or an A?
An I, actually.
All right. Well, we're all dead. Thankfully, it's not up to me.
All right, so number 3, I put don't pregame the booze or any other recreational substances, and absolutely no firsts.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would say, yeah.
That sounds good.
All right, what's rule number 4, Jason?
I this is one that I have broken on many occasions. I would like to tell you guys about, but I think rule number 4 is no ejaculating in the theater.
But what kind of theater, though? Like all theaters or just specific theaters? Because some theaters, it is appropriate, I think.
I think even at those theaters, I think Paul Rubens went to jail over that. I think Pee-wee got in some trouble, and I think it was one of those adult theaters. What I'm trying to say to you guys is this. When I have ejaculated in a few movie theaters, unfortunately. I don't know about you guys, but I have blown loads on the floor and on the back of the seat, mostly the back of the seat, probably.
Oh no. Not why you have the popcorn bucket right there.
I'm trying to eat that shit. I ain't trying to jizz on my own popcorn.
You eat the popcorn first to get your strength up, and then you
You know what? Sometimes I gotta get jerked off to get my strength up.
well, then you
Sometimes
get one of those
popcorn is-
extra bags. You're like, hey, we're
popcorn
gonna
is for-
share this popcorn. Give me a small bag.
The popcorn is for recovery between blasts. You know, you got to pop off. Then you're going to eat some popcorn, watch a little bit more of First Night starring Richard Gere and Sean Connery, and then you're going to pop off again. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to get it twice. So the popcorn is for recovery. And
All right, I have to know, speaking, you know, like with what DJ said with the popcorn bucket and everything, is one of the movies you ejaculated, was it Deadpool and Wolverine?
no,
Because of that
yeah,
popcorn bucket.
it's been I know. Right now they got fuckable popcorn buckets. All the popcorn buckets look like this. Why does every fucking popcorn bucket look like this now? It's $25, but they all
They know their
all look
audience.
Like, they look like
Yeah.
Wolverine. It's like the Deadpool and Wolverine popcorn bucket looked like a Wolverine fleshlight, and it was like, all right. I mean, am I supposed to stick my hand in that? Because I got a big hand, but a tiny dick. I could put my dick in there. I wouldn't even hit the Wolverine sides, man. Shit. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's when you're a kid, you guys probably had the same experience. You're 13, you're 14, you're going on dates, you know, you're old enough to, like, you know, you get your mom drops you off at a fucking PG-13 movie. It's 1994. First Night is out. Richard Gere, Sean Connery, you know what I'm saying? Sir Lancelot and shit. And it's like, yo, I mean, like, I got a fucking javelin right here in my fucking pants. Let's fucking joust, baby. And, you know, I've been blown in the theater. I've definitely been jerked off several times. And, you know, it's dark. You don't know where that's going. You got no fucking clue where that's going. And it's not like you could aim it at the best of circumstances either. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know where it's going. So I got to say, that's a rule. I really think that you should strive not to ejaculate in the theater. However, having been a violator of that rule for much of the 90s, I have to say that, like, I'm sorry for anybody who's like, For anybody who's gotten home, be like, what the fuck did I step in? What is this on the bottom of my fucking shoe? Hey, I'm sorry to that person.
Dude, we had a theater
Who spilled
exactly like
popcorn,
that.
so much popcorn butter all over this. What?
It's like someone
I remember
just
getting white
spilled
cheddar
butter.
popcorn.
It's like,
Oh my rose. No, sorry. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Dude,
It
dead
was
ass
right
though,
there.
we had a movie theater in our neighborhood that was specifically called the Sticky Shoe.
yeah, that's what I'm
Oh
saying, man. And
my
they think it's because you spilled soda. Like sometimes, you walk through there and it's like, oh, it's like kind of squishy because someone spilled their soda or whatever. And that's what I was always counting on. I was like, oh, somebody's just going to think it's soda. But like every now and again, I'd be leaving that theater and the guy would be going in with the broom and he would come back out and get a mop.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
So you're saying this should not be allowed or this should be allowed? I'm confused.
I don't think it should be allowed. I think you should do. I know. What I'm saying is I feel guilty because I have violated that rule many times. Many.
So you think there should be like Disneyland style cameras, like infrared pointed towards the thing, and they're like, just come over the microphone. We see what you're doing. Stop it in row 8.
I don't know about that. It's just like with checking your phone. It's like, how do they enforce that? They can tell you, please don't look at your phone. Please don't get really fucked up on drugs before coming to see it and then shitting your pants during the movie. Please don't ejaculate on the back of the seat. We just installed these recliners. And if that person's reclined enough in front of you, you might not even, it might go over. You know what I mean? Like, imagine being fully reclined and you just start feeling this jism start like, you're just like, what the fuck is hitting me on the fucking chest? And it's coming over your shoulder from behind you. So I'm saying that as a rule, just etiquette towards other human beings, even though there's really nothing to stop us. If you want to get wild and free, like turn your phone on, blast some porn on your phone while on drugs and getting jerked off and blasting over, like pop off on the dude in front of you. And, but you shouldn't do any of that is what I'm trying to say.
I feel like, how we were talking about Rocky Horror Picture Show? I feel like what you're saying is what you're supposed to do during a live showing of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I think definitely somebody has ejaculated during Rocky Horror Picture Show. In fact, I think every screening of Rocky Horror Picture Show, at least one person ejaculates during that. So that's one of those rules are meant to be broken things. If you're in Rocky Horror and people start whipping it out, by all means, do your thing.
All right, rule number 4, no beating the meat.
Honestly, it's specifically the ejaculate that's the problem. If you're touching your penis, that's not really an issue until something issues forth, right?
Depends on if it's opening weekend.
It's only an issue if you finish. Okay.
Oh, speaking of which, I one time. Have you guys seen the movie Billy Madison?
Yeah,
absolutely.
I went to see that movie with my girlfriend in the mid-90s. This was during my heyday of ejaculating in the theaters. We made the mistake of going to see Billy Madison on opening night. Every fucking seat in that whole theater was packed side by side. And I'm like, you still jerking me off, right? Come on. Like, I don't give a shit. There's a lady right next to me. I don't care. She's 60. She's seen it before. I don't give a fuck. Jerking me off. And I'm like finger blasting during fucking Billy Madison, dude. I'm doing everything, dude. I'm like, Billy Madison's talking gibberish. I'm laughing my ass off. I'm like, because you don't think it's just me getting jacked off. I'm finger blasting the lady too. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm getting pruny fingers during that movie for sure.
And you look over and that 60-year-old lady is like, thank you.
She's like, that old lady's like, you got 2 hands, dog.
You reached the wrong way, and I'm not complaining.
Like, your pussy's gonna smell like my grandma's house, isn't it?
Oh God, there's so much to unpack with what you just said.
Oh my god,
man, dude. I don't think that finishing is necessarily the problem. It's spraying it. Like, if you can cover it up and keep it contained.
Yeah,
like
I suppose if
that's a little bit more etiquette, like, than just letting it free.
No, I'm gonna go ahead and say
this is why being uncircumcised should be more normal.
Okay.
Dude, what do you keep it all in there in the belly?
Yeah, I save it for later. It's my flavor saver down below. No, listen. How about this for the rule? If you wouldn't do it with the lights on, don't do it with the lights off. Yeah, like if you were sitting in a room of people with the lights on, would you be doing it? If not, don't.
That's exactly how I'm
I
wording
was,
that.
dude,
You
I was a
wouldn't do it
freaking
with the lights on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I think specifically it really is about containment of bodily fluids during a film. Because I mean, look, I'm not saying I would because it doesn't feel as nice as coming does, but like you shouldn't shit on the floor, like piss in a cup or whatever either, because you don't want to miss a minute of the movie. You got to leave to go use the restroom. So like I think it's all like my rule really is about like keeping your bodily fluids within you, or at least, you know, getting up to use the restroom. Because if I was getting jerked off in a theater these days, I'd like to think I would be polite enough to get up and go to the bathroom for like completion. Like when I'm about to pop off, when you see me running out the back, like running out the theater, like gripping my pants, like trying to hold my fucking belt up or whatever. That's me trying to make it to the bathroom real quick because I might have got too close. You know what I mean? Like my old lady might have got me a little too close. And you always that's a, I mean, y'all are men, y'all know. That's a tough one. That's a tough line. That's a tough tightrope to walk because you want to get as close as you can, but no, you don't want to lose it by the time you get to the bathroom. But like if you get too close, you know, it's all about balance, and you can easily get too close, and it's like, all right, I'm popping off, I guess. Just like the '90s, I'm about to do it on the floor if I can, but I hope that dude in front of me is not too lean back.
Well, in fairness, in the 90s, no one was leaning back.
That's
That
what I'm
was
saying. Yeah.
that was a straight up chair. There was no leaning. There was no nothing.
Yeah. And in my defense, I did try to go see movies that were like several weeks old, like a month old. So there would be very few people, and I sat in the back. You know what I mean? Like we did our thing back there, and it was like, all right, y'all try to enjoy the movie, sit in the middle. We're gonna sit in the back, and you know, I didn't moan. I never moaned. I never did the coming like oh like any of that. None of that. Never did any of that.
See, that's just courtesy at its finest.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, even back then, I understood etiquette is important, even though I am ejaculating inside this theater.
Oh my god.
Dude, the things we
Love
do
it.
as teenagers should just be
wild.
completely scrubbed through from any record.
Yeah, it's wild. I'm very glad I never got caught doing that, because if that was on my permanent record, can you imagine if your kids found that out about you after you died or some shit like that? Like, man, dad was great, but I just found out that when he was 14, his girlfriend at the time jerked him off in a theater 47 times.
Jason, I don't know if you know this. This is going on the internet. And
You
your
guys,
kids
make sure they don't listen to this episode of the Allbreaks.
I have to unsubscribe my 5-year-old from your show, I'm afraid.
Listen, you don't
What
know.
episode is this again,
This
Caleb?
could be on the internet forever. They could be 25. Just like, I wonder what happens if whatever the equivalent of Google is, my
Yeah.
father.
They say the internet is forever, but I'm not sure I believe that yet.
It's been what 30 years, and it seems pretty permanent. Unless
I think
you're,
my
you know,
kids are going to learn some very interesting things about me if they care to Google me. I think they're going to regret it. Like me eating the weed to go see it. They're going to be like, I should have done that. Yeah, that's was a bad idea.
Well, that's the thing. This is the you almost should let your kids listen to this so they know what not to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like benefit from my mistake. You know?
Yep. All right. So I'm wording that if you wouldn't do it with the lights on, don't do it with them off. All right. My number 5 is keep your shoes on your feet.
I think that's just advice coming after what I just said. I jizzed on the floor.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep your fucking shoes on, man, for your own protection, for your own safety.
Yeah. Well, these people that freaking come to these theaters that that have the recliners and shit, they get way too comfortable with that shit.
They shouldn't trust you that much.
Yeah, and I had some lady freaking kick off her shoes, and she even went as far as taking off her socks too.
No, nope.
Yeah, that's if you don't if you don't come to the theater in flip flops, leave your shoes on. Like no one needs that. Like I forget what movie it was too, but she was sitting right next to me, and I was like, I was ready to burst.
That's
where do you? Sorry,
I said some rules are meant to be broken, but that is not one of them.
Well, where do you land on like Crocs? Can you slide the Crocs off?
No, Crocs stay.
I think you should keep the Crocs on, but if you got socks and it's not smelly, then I might forgive you if you're very discreet and I don't really notice, then that's cool. But you start taking your socks off like this lady. Was she like unroll her pantyhose? She took her fucking pantyhose off and shit. She's like fucking
No,
rubbing her
dude.
dogs and shit like that. Oh man, these fucking bunions been hurting.
So
I don't know if you want to like.
It was
Go
like
ahead.
a straight, like she was straight up wearing like pajamas. It was like pajama pants, like pajama shirt, like a freaking cardigan. She brought in a blanket and shit. And so,
Wow.
like, if you're gonna do all that underneath
Was
the
she
blanket,
homeless?
I
Was this just a homeless lady that just decided to get some warmth in a fucking movie?
oh, dude, if it was like, I'm still judging her very harshly.
I would too.
But-
Yeah, I mean, I judge the homeless in general. I judge the homeless.
I don't know if
but
you wanna, like-
she started like just taking the layers off. She dropped her shoes, and I was like, okay, like I can live with this. And then she started going for her socks, and I'm like, God damn it! And yeah,
Well, I
and her feet freaking stunk too. So
Okay,
like, you were getting
right.
some stink.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you want to lump this in because this was mine, but maybe you could just broaden it to like hygiene, because one of mine was take a shower. Like I've never dealt with the sitting next to the stinky person, but I got to imagine that's. I mean, and you're telling me that horror story right now, lady with her stinky feet. Because yeah, no, I couldn't. I would have to just move. Like there would be no like, well, maybe I can get through this. Like once I can smell you as a human, I don't know if I can like we live indoors now. You can't do this. Put on some deodorant, spray on some body spray, do something.
Yeah, bare minimum. If I'm going to a movie theater, I'm putting on deodorant and giving myself a good little spray down. Like bare minimum. That's even knowing how many people are going to be in the theater beforehand. Like when I can like choose my seats and shit. Like even if the theater's basically going to be empty and I'm still sitting by myself, I still freaking clean it up.
Spritz it up.
Yeah. Like even if I don't feel like I like if I don't feel like I stink or whatever, like yeah. Like I'll freaking avoid. And like if I do, like there's been some instances where I've had to go like at least for like this show where I've had to go from work to the movies and I usually don't smell the best. Like I have a emergency can of like spray deodorant and then I choose to sit away from people. And then if someone gets too close, then I'll move.
I'm sorry. I'm having such an ADD moment right now. Is this video going online?
Yeah.
Like on YouTube? All right. Everyone, if you're just listening to this right now, I want you to go to YouTube and I want you to look at Caleb's shirt and I want you to wonder what it looks like Stitch is riding on. Don't move it. Just leave it how it was. Because I was like, I looked over and I was like, is that dude riding a star-spangled penis right now? What is happening? I'm sorry. I was looking at you talking and I just started looking at that and I was like, Jesus Christ, that looks okay.
Patriotic dick.
I apologize.
Sam's
I'm so
dick.
sorry.
Dude, fair enough. Like even when you get to the when you see the point, like it doesn't make it much better.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, don't be stinky. Don't be a stinky
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah, I would say I was gonna say something about like not farting in a crowded theater because that's unpleasant. But that rolls in with don't be a stinky bitch. You know, hygiene. Also, like because sometimes you go see a movie. Like I recently saw a film with my wife, Heretic, after we went to lunch and I had a prodigious amount of Mexican food. I mean, I had a pork tamale. I had fucking Mexican street tacos. You know what I'm saying? Like there was something brewing in me during that movie. You know what I'm saying? It was like all of these Mexican flavors. It was very muy auténtico too, which is rare for New England. But it was like, the corn and the fucking tortillas and all the fucking, they put that red sauce all over the tamale and you got that and you got the dairy from the cheese and they're just fucking duking it out. Everything's in the gut fermenting, right? And so like this is common for people. You go eat a ton of PF Chang's and then you go into a fucking movie. You go see a Jet Li movie after eating PF Chang's and it's like, the first 30 minutes you're cool, but like, towards the back half of that movie, your belly starts kind of rumbling and things have kind of moved down. Things are like fermenting in your colon right now. And it's like the bacteria in there is really kind of like stirring shit up. And it's like, Do I want to let this one squeak out and see how it goes? Like, because if it's quiet, the movie's loud, no one's gonna hear me fart. But like, if it comes out sideways, it might smell a little bit. You know what I mean? And it offends the nostrils.
Am I alone in this? Like, if I know I'm going to see a movie at like noon, I'm going to not eat anything starting around like 9:30 or 10.
That's what I do.
I'm not going to eat or drink anything. Like, I don't want to have to get up for any reason. Like, I don't want anything. I don't want any stomach troubles. No, nothing. Like, I want to be empty.
Bro, I was hungry and this was good ass Mexican. Let me tell you, I kind of want some of that right now. It was fucking good Mexican food, dude.
Dude, a full-blown meal before a movie that's some risky business.
That is wild behavior is what that is.
I fucking,
if you make it through the movie,
like, like dinner and a movie, everybody says you go out for dinner.
No, movie and dinner.
Yeah, it's movie and dinner. What you just said is the equivalent of eating all that weed granola and being like, let me go and watch this movie. I've never heard somebody
say movie and dinner. Everyone says dinner and a movie.
But
it rolls off the tongue better that way, but that's not the order of operations.
What if it's like a 10 o'clock movie? What if we're going to see a 10 o'clock movie?
So go see an 8 o'clock movie. Go see an 8 o'clock movie and have dinner at 10, and then you can talk about the movie you just saw as you're eating.
That's actually kind of wise because you could discuss the movie after, but I still think you got to go eat at 7:30. You got to see the 10 o'clock movie.
If you
then you can get a couple drinks in you at dinner, you can eat a little bit of that granola weed, and then you go see the movie.
Listen, if you're just having drinks, like that's one thing. But if you're having a full-blown meal, you can't have some of that risky shit.
I'm talking about tacos, tamales, cerveza. Maybe you do a shot or two of tequila, and you eat a little bit of that fucking the weed salsa. You eat some of the weed salsa. Got the THC salsa, and then you fucking
okay. If you make
you're feeling pretty good, and then you go into the movie, and then you shit your pants in the theater.
Hold on, I gotta know, Rose.
If you make it through that long of a movie and don't shit your pants, you should go to Vegas and put it all on red.
During movies, dude.
Rose has been so silent. I feel like you're the guy that sneaks the food in. You're like, you have like a whole steak in there where you're like,
I snuck an entire plate of General Tso's chicken with fucking wings and a fucking egg roll into Gladiator on opening night, Gladiator 2000, and every seat was packed. And the dude next to me is like, fuck you. I opened the styrofoam. I got like chopsticks and shit. I'm doing it up, dude. I got the fucking tea. I'm pouring the tea into the little fucking thing. I brought a fucking fold out table, like TV tray. I'm like fucking putting my food, and the guy next to me is like, you are a fucking piece of shit. I'm like, I'm eating fucking General Tso. I don't know. Fuck you. I don't know what you're having.
No, I mean, I'm definitely with Caleb and DJ. Definitely movie and then dinner. But I will fully admit that I might have, snuck a cheeseburger into a movie theater once or twice.
Let me ask you this: since Rose, it's you and I duking it out to be who's the most flagrant at bringing shit in. Have you ever left a movie to get food and then snuck the movie back in?
No, I have not.
I've done that. I went to see with my.
That's awesome.
My good buddy Jimmy, R.I.P. He is no longer with us, but my best friend from high school, he and I used to go. We would go see movies, and we'd make a day of it. We'd go see a movie, we'd pay for the first one, and then we'd sneak into movies the whole rest of the day. We'd be in the theater for 12 hours, and we'd watch like 4 or 5 movies. And invariably, I would get hungry because you can't like bring a whole cooler in of food. So I actually snuck out of the movie Signs with Mel Gibson and Joaquin Phoenix. I snuck out of that movie because there was a Subway in the same shopping center as the theater. So I snuck out of the back. I used my coat to prop the emergency exit door open so it wouldn't fully shut, but it was like mostly shut. So nobody knew it was open, but it was like it didn't latch. I rigged the latch. And so I snuck out. I rigged the latch with my jacket, and I was cold. I was shivering. I went to Subway. I got a fucking foot-long Italian with everything on it. And then I snuck back in. I fucking resumed my seat, and I fucking started eating this fucking foot-long Italian with everything on it. Fucking whole theater smelled like vinegar and piss. And I fucking, it was good. The Sub was better than that movie. Fuck Signs. Fuck M. Night Shyamalan. I said what I said.
How dare you?
That movie
Signs wasn't that bad. No. Of all the things, what was the Bad Color movie? What was that one? That's the one I hated.
The Bad
where
Color
they
movie.
the girl, she kept saying it's the bad color, and they thought they were living like in the 1800s, but they were really
The Village. That movie was a piece of shit, and it was worse than Signs, but it doesn't mean Signs wasn't a piece of shit. They're both pieces of shit. One was a shittier piece of shit, but they're both, fuck them both.
Disagree. Hard pass.
I feel like Signs has come back on people, but honestly, circa 2004 or whenever Signs came out, I was in the majority. Everybody agreed with me. Everyone was like, that fucking movie sucked.
Well, everyone was too high on Sixth Sense to deal with anything else that he did at the time. But that movie gets too much hate. Signs.
I mean, deserves it.
It doesn't.
I feel the one M. Night Shyamalan movie that does deserve all the hate is The Last Airbender.
Yeah,
I didn't even watch the show. Like, I've only seen like half of the first season.
You're still freaking dumb for that.
Fuck off.
I haven't seen 1 minute of any fucking Airbender anything. I've never seen 1 minute. Legend of Korra, nothing.
You're missing out. It's good.
You're way missing out.
American anime.
How many friends are fans of the original show and just how like betrayed they felt with that movie? Like, yeah, M. Night Shyamalan, at least for that movie, definitely deserves the hate.
I mean, listen, I never saw it. This is one I never saw, but knew it was terrible because everyone told me it was the Dragon Ball Z movie. That was one that was everyone unanimously said no thank you forever.
I feel like they should have walked away from that Dragon Ball Z movie and just realized, like, not every fucking cartoon, anime or otherwise, needs to be converted into a live action. Sometimes it's just okay to enjoy the animation, right? Watch the television series, watch the movies, enjoy the anime. We don't need to cast Chow Yun-fat as Master Roshi and fuck everything up. And I like Chow Yun-fat. This is coming from a guy who watched The Killer in 1993. I've been a fan of Chow Yun-fat since before I was jacking off in theaters.
And you can quote me.
And you can quote me on that. Tell my daughters in 25 years they stand over my fucking casket being lowered down in. There he goes. One of God's own prototypes. He jacked off in theaters. What a fucking mutant. What a fucking mutant.
I forgot what the rule was. What was the
rule? Rule number 5 is don't be a stinky bitch and keep your shoes on.
And then we started talking about sneaking food in because
listen, if there's anything that does that there is no rule for, like, it's freaking Mad Max rules when it comes to food.
Yeah, outside food is apocalypse rules. Like, if you can get it in there, it's you did it.
Okay.
You win.
You get
that's a rule that's definitely made to be broken. If you can win that game, all bets are off. Cool. Definitely. I like that. But how do you feel like, because I have felt bad in the past, because I have a penchant for Chinese films and I have a penchant for Chinese food. I like to bring Chinese food into Chinese films. I felt like when I went to see Romeo Must Die in the theaters in 1999, I thought Jet Li's going to appreciate the fact that I'm eating fucking sweet and sour chicken right now. It's not racist at all that I brought fucking sweet and sour chicken into a Jet Li movie. Like, not even remotely.
Well, listen, I don't want to skip over you, Rose, but my next rule was going to be no loud food, or at least if you're going to have loud food, you got to wait until the big action moment to be like, let me open up my bag of chips and so like,
no,
it can't be like
I agree,
a tender moment and you're like yummying down on some Cape Cods.
I don't think I was really making noise so much with the Chinese food as it was like kind of obtrusive to the people next to me, because it was like fresh Chinese food. It was like fried rice and shit. Like, it would fill the room with the aroma. And I think sometimes that was a little disruptive to my fellow patrons. I didn't give a fuck.
I mean, it can be, but at the same time, like, screw it.
Unless it's well, it depends on the food, because I was gonna say, like, if some lady came and sat next to me and had like some really overpowering perfume, that would be probably, so I would say like overpowering smells that are like, offensive. But I'm super sensitive to perfume and stuff like that. Like, I can't walk down like the laundry detergent aisle because it makes my freaking head hurt. So I don't know. I don't know how I would feel if someone had like some pungent food next to me. Because on one hand, I'm glad you got your full meal of whatever it is that you got in there. On the other hand, if I'm dying because it smells like it's too smelly, I don't know.
Ooh, I didn't even think about that.
No.
Because you could
What
have
if someone
stuff like
sneaks in on-
if someone's freaking having like a tuna sandwich in the
I
middle of
was
a
just
theater,
gonna say-
Oh yeah.
yeah, like that would be no bueno.
Tuna sandwich with some potato salad. Yeah, that's a little too much for me.
They have it in their little heat bag. They open it up like, oh, it's still hot. Like,
Hmm.
did you just bring hot fish in here? What are you doing?
And to top it all off, they're gonna bring in cans of soda and they're gonna crack those open at the most silent moment of the
Yes.
I used to do that. Let me raise my hand. Okay, before they started selling beer in every theater, now every theater just sells beer because that's just good money, right? They make
Yeah.
more money off it because they also realize that assholes like me would sneak it in. So before theaters, this was like early 2000s. So I was like old enough to buy beer, but like movie theaters weren't all doing it yet. It was very few movie theaters that sold beer. What I would do is I would actually sneak in. I would do the door proppy thing again, and I would run out to my car, and I had one of those soft coolers in my car, and it was just enough for a 6-pack. And I would bring that in, and I remember doing that in the movie Thor one time, the first Thor movie. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, the movie's packed. I got my brother on one side, but then I got like strange dude on the side next to me, and I'm like, well, I probably it's going to make a sound. I brought bottles for some fucking reason. I brought a 6-pack of bottles, like not even cans. So I was like, dude, it's going to make a sound when I'm like, A, when I'm opening it, and then B, when I'm like, it's going to clink and shit like that. And they weren't selling beer at this theater at the time. So I was just like, dude, I just need to clear it with this dude next to me. So I like lean in, and the movie's already going and shit. Thor's fucking jerking off, whatever. And I'm like, yo, I'm about to crack a beer. You going to be cool, or are you going to narc on me? And he's like, bro, I don't give a fuck. Drink your beers. And I was like, all right, good on you, man. And I waited till the quietest moment. I was just sitting there holding my beer. It was a twist off. Because I wanted everybody in that theater to know I was breaking the fucking rules. I wanted them to hear that twist. Because that was back in the day. Like there were no 20-ounce bottles. Everything was in a cup with a straw. When they heard that, everybody knew. And I dropped the bottle cap. I let the bottle cap hit the floor, and it was like ting, 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 ting. And I turned that beer up, and I bet everybody behind me could see me with that fucking bottle, that Coors Light bottle. And I was like, that's what I'm doing in the middle of Thor at fucking 1:45 on a Sunday afternoon, you cocksuckers. That was a good movie.
Holy shit.
I got good memories of that one.
Yeah. If you get approval from one person that's not part of your group that you go to the theater with, or just someone like an outside person, like it's kind of free game.
That's what I'm saying. Like the vibe was right when he was like, dude, do your thing, man. I ain't going to judge. It was like, all right, cool. That goes for the rest of you cocksuckers. Open the fucking thing. He just said yes for all of you guys. He consented for this whole theater of 300 people.
All right, Rose, what's your next rule?
Mine is so I feel I'm going to condescend myself a little bit with this one, because my next one is show up on time. Like, please, like,
Yeah.
I feel that we all know that it's usually about 10 to 15 minutes of credits. Like the movie says that it starts at 2:00, but the real movie doesn't start till like 2:15, 2:20.
Easily.
That's usually how it goes. So I feel that that's plenty of time, even if you're running late and you know that it starts at 2, you still have those 20 minutes to actually get in your seat and be ready for this movie to start. I hate it when the movie's already started. We're like 10, 15 minutes in, and people are like turning on their flashlights, freaking trying to find their seat. It freaking distracts you. It takes you out of the movie.
Annoying.
It's really annoying.
Yeah.
I'm going to condescend myself, though, with that, because a couple months ago, they did a re-release of Coraline in theaters, and Fathom Events did that. And they did not, I feel they did not do a good job about getting out the fact that there were no trailers before the movie. And so when the showing said 2, if it said 2:00, the movie started at 2:00. And so because I saw it, I think twice when they re-released it in theaters. And so like 10 or 15 minutes in, like you still had people coming in trying to find their seats. And I feel like like I said, I'm going to condescend myself because I can give them a pass for that, because Fathom
Yeah.
Events didn't do a good job of getting the word out. Hey, there's no trailers before Coraline for upcoming movies. Literally, we're going to show just a quick sneak peek of Leica's next movie, and then bam, here's your 15th anniversary showing of Coraline. But looking past that, yeah, I freaking hate it when someone shows up like literally basically like what 30 minutes of the movie should have been already, and they're shining their flashlights trying to find their seats. It's freaking annoying. I hate it.
Dude, that's
feel like-
the situation. You need to be embarrassed when you walk in.
Yeah. Well, I feel like just as egregious are like it again. It doesn't, like Jason, you kind of alluded to it with like, you know, propping a door open, but like I haven't seen it as much recently. Is the kids that come in and they're clearly trying to like sneak into a movie. Now, if you're trying to sneak in and you just like slink in and you get to the first open seat and you sit there and you don't do anything, cool, we're good. I don't have any problem with you. As soon as you're like cutting up and like, oh my God, we got in here, like I'm going to jump off the top of this seat and I'm going to put my elbow on the top of your head.
DJ, it is so funny you bring that up, because I don't know if you listened to, I think it was either the last episode or the one before, I talked about seeing Terrifier 3. I had the exact same scenario. Two young girls snuck in. They were like 2 rows behind me, would not shut up for, I think they were in there for like 20 minutes, and they weren't even talking about the movie. They were talking about like what was going on in their life, talking about like, oh my God, I can't believe we snuck in, all this shit. Thankfully, they were only there for like
Last
20
time I
minutes.
was at this theater, I jerked this guy off all over the seat. Oh my God, he was such a fucking weirdo. I just told him to blow up the popcorn bucket, but he wouldn't because he still wanted to eat it.
Shit. But yeah, I'm glad that like they were only in there for like 20 minutes, but like, yeah, I absolutely agree with that. It's frustrating.
Yeah, don't show up late. Don't show up. Well, I mean, again, your Fathom Events thing, like, yeah, I feel like that's, how could you possibly know? You just assume there's going to be trailers before every movie.
Yeah,
But
like
now
they had
you
it like
know.
posted by
Now
the
people know.
concessions, like not the concessions, like the ticket booth. But
Mhm.
like if you like pulled up the show times on like Cinemark's app, because that's where I see all my movies. There was nothing indicating, oh hey, there's no trailers before Coraline. So if it says it starts at 2:00, it starts at 2:00.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's just bad planning.
yeah, I agree.
They really should notify you of that, because it's like a half hour. It's like a solid half hour. It's inconvenient sometimes too, because I'm paying a fucking babysitter. I don't know, Caleb. I don't know if you got any cheap babysitters, but I fucking paid a babysitter to go see Heretic. I paid that babysitter $25 an hour.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there during those trailers like, shit, man, these trailers cost me fucking $17.
Yeah.
It's
Luckily,
fucking
we got
trailer.
some family that can watch the kids.
Yeah,
But
we got it. My wife's family's right nearby. They'll watch one kid, but put both on my wife's parents. They're in their 70s now. You know what I mean? Can't be chasing after these children.
we have a friend from church that we kind of swap watching kids every once in a while.
Yeah.
So she has 5 kids in total, but we usually end up watching like their youngest 2. And so yeah, like when we've tried to go out for like dates and stuff, we usually pawn off our 2.
Yeah.
But it's easy. They're all like around the same age, or at least my daughter and the youngest 2 are around the same age. They're all within like a year and a half of each other.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and then obviously the baby's super chill. He just wants to be included.
Yeah.
He's so chill. He's just happy to be there. Like if it's funny, like watching him like in the like play in the living room. Like if his sissy comes hauling ass through the hallway, goes to her room, he's trotting along, going like following her to her room.
Is he walking pretty good at 9 months?
He's not walking yet, but he's pretty close. Like he's standing like pretty good for like a couple seconds and then dropping on his ass. But
then falls, pops on his butt. Yeah.
Yeah,
cute.
he's getting there. He's getting there.
I love it. That's so fucking cute. I love it.
Yeah. All right. Rule number 6, I put on time means before the trailers are done, but show up on time.
Perfect.
All right, DJ. Rule 7.
All right. Well, this is going to feel really specific to two people here, but if the movie is PG-13 or greater, don't bring your kid at all. Like if it's G or PG, cool. I'm good with it all day long. Anything after that, if I hear a kid be like, "Mom, what's he doing?" Like, nah, man. Like we get to kick your kid or something. Like you got to get punished for doing this.
Yeah. That's a good point. I mean, I think that's a very valid point. It's like bring kids to the appropriate films because kids are going to naturally be more noisy. I mean, they're not going to sit quietly like an adult is capable of doing, especially when we're talking about younger, like 4 or 5 years old. They're just not capable of sitting quietly for that period of time, and their attention span is weak. And I agree, man. You shouldn't be taking your kids. I mean, now as a parent myself, I'm definitely like, don't take your kids to the wrong movie because A, that movie might not be appropriate. B, somebody's jacking off in that theater, and you just got to be very careful about like what kind of movies you take your kids to because
You need to know, you need to know who the target audience for a movie is.
Yeah.
And plan accordingly. Like if you're going to a kids movie, like as an adult, and you're pissed off that kids are being loud or disruptive, you don't get to do that.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
That'd be reasonable.
But on the other hand, if you go to watch, a history of violence, and there's someone with their, year and a half kid, they're like, what? I don't understand. I'm crying.
Wow.
Like, hey, man, you're in the wrong place.
There's some kid in Pulp Fiction. He's like, why is he stabbing that lady with a giant needle? Daddy, this is scary.
Dude, I
like needles.
I think I forget who I went to go see this movie with. I think it was the Spider-Man movie. It was one that I watched here, like since I moved to Georgia. But I was with my brother-in-law, and we went to go see this movie, and it was like a Marvel movie. I forget which one, but someone came in with their newborn.
Wow.
And sat in like one of the first like 3 rows. And I'm like, are you actually shitting me?
These movies are loud.
Wait, was that Spider-Man No Way Home?
It might have been No Way Home. But
I swear I saw that with you and Brielle, didn't I? When you guys were out here?
Yeah, but that was my second time watching it.
Oh, that was your second. Okay, my bad. We were like in the front row, like, right? Because that's like all that we could get.
Yeah. But no. We were at this oh no. I don't know where we were at, but
all I know is we had to like have our heads up, looking hella up to see the screen.
Yeah. But
my wife and I went to see a movie when she was pregnant with our second daughter. I think it was like Tenet. The Christopher Nolan film.
Yeah.
And it was loud as fuck. I was like worried for the baby. I was like, holy shit, is this too loud? Like, I know he's inside you or she's inside you. So she got like extra padding and extra earmuffs. But I was like, this feels like it's too loud to be pregnant during this film.
You guys are going to be playing Tenet when she's older. She's going to have a sudden flashback to being inside the womb.
It'll be like fucking PTSD. She'll be like jumping under the couch and shit like that.
Dad, which way is time moving? Am I getting older or younger? I don't understand.
Yeah. So how age appropriate audiences or audience?
Leave your fucking kids at home.
Yeah, leave your kids at home. Not, I don't know, not a kids movie, no kids. I don't know, something.
Because even though like I saw Halloween when I was like 6 years old, a 5 or 6 year old should not be seeing Michael Myers stab his sister to death.
Now, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you don't need to bring a kid to like an age appropriate. I'm talking about, if your kid is, like Jason was saying, one of those shithead kids that's like, I am going to be cool for 30 minutes and 30 minutes only. And then everything after that is going to be your worst nightmare. I'm going to be
my time, bitch.
Yeah. So, you know what I mean? Like, cause you see like every once in a while, you'll see the family of like, a 2-year-old up to a 13-year-old to go see a PG-13 movie or whatever, but they're all cool. That is not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people who let their kids freaking run roughshot and they're like, just be quiet, sweetie. Like, get the fuck. No, get out of here.
Leave your fucking kids.
Because I swear it was either in Halloween 2018 or Halloween Kills that someone did bring a newborn baby into that, and they cried multiple times throughout the movie.
Oh my hell. Absolutely not. Dude, like I
don't fuck around with Halloween, so that that definitely got under.
Dude, I still feel myself getting like anxious when my kid's running around a theater for a movie that's meant for her.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't even imagine doing that for a movie or in a theater that's full of people. Like, no, absolutely the hell not. Like I specifically plan movies, like kids movies that I take my daughter to. I specifically plan around like trying to find the most out of the way time to go see the movie, so just to make sure that as few people are there as possible.
Do your kids nap?
My daughter doesn't really anymore.
Yeah, but the 9-month-old obviously has to nap several times a day. At 9 months, napping at least twice a day, right? In addition to sleeping overnight. Yeah. That at that age is, very developmentally appropriate for the kid to take multiple naps. I think when my daughters were that age, I mean, they'd fall asleep at like 9 a.m. and then again so it's like even there's a certain age where it's like not even practical to take them to see a film, because it's like if the kid wakes up at fucking 6 a.m., well, movies don't start showing till like 10 o'clock at the earliest. Like sometimes during the summertime, they'll show like The Land Before Time for like $1 at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday or some shit. So like the fucking housewife that's about to quaalude herself and then blow her fucking brains out is like, can take her fucking kids for like, oh, shut the fuck up for a few minutes and watch the fucking Land Before Time. But like, so you gotta like plan it with naps and shit anyway. But like, I can't take her to 10 o'clock because I gotta give her a nap at noon. You know what I mean? Like, there's too much bullshit. Like, they gotta hit that age anyway where it's like, all right, we don't gotta worry about naps. Like we can actually go see a movie at 11. But I'm with you, like, like I try to go see Garfield. Like we took him to go see Garfield. We're gonna go take him to see Moana 2. I don't know if you're excited about that, but I'm going to tell you right now, if Tamatoa is not in fucking Moana 2, I'm going to fucking burn that theater to the goddamn ground. If Tamatoa doesn't show up and sing a goddamn David Bowie song, I fucking swear to God, I want my money back, and I will fucking shank every fucking Disney employee I lay my fucking eyes on. If Tamatoa better show up, and I want a psychedelic-ass David Bowie song for Tamatoa. All right? Anyway. You got to take them at like 11 a.m. So like if they're fucking making noise, whatever. It's a theater full of parents. They all got their kids. You know what I mean? Like if you really want to go see, honestly, if you want to see the Garfield cartoon, which was a piece of shit as well. If you want to see that as an adult and you don't have kids with you, fuck you. You're a pedophile. Get the fuck out of here. Quit shopping for children in this fucking theater. Get the fuck out of here. Watch it when it goes streaming on Netflix at home. Okay. Take your fucking free candy van and get the fuck out of here.
Okay, can I just say, in my defense, when I have to go see,
we have a podcast to run, Jason.
All right, reviewers.
I have to go.
Reviewers notwithstanding.
Yeah, what's weirder?
Okay,
what's weirder, Rose? Going
most of my friends don't want to go see a kids movie with me, so I have to end up going seeing it myself.
I would honestly, I would like pay a hooker to come with me and be like, "We're not gonna fuck. You don't even have to jerk me off during this movie, but you can if you want to. I just need somebody to watch it with."
Like, what is weirder, going and seeing that movie by yourself at 11 a.m. or at 10 p.m.?
That's an excellent question.
Dude, I don't know, man.
Because I saw the Super Mario Bros. Movie at 10 p.m. So
now, that's different.
That's
like,
different.
That one's okay.
Okay,
I think that one's okay.
That's a fun for all ages movie.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, and I think Christopher Pratt being the main character voice notwithstanding. Super Mario Brothers, I think, was just good, like all around entertainment. And Garfield was like, you have to be a kid to enjoy this piece of shit. Because if you're if you're smarter than plunging for a cause, then you gotta fucking you're not gonna enjoy this,
But Caleb, well, no, I think Caleb has paid me back for it. Freaking when we did Paw Patrol, the Mighty Paw. What was it called? Paw Patrol 2.
Yeah,
He
the
wanted
Mighty
to.
Pups.
Yeah, the Mighty Pups. He wanted to review that movie. I can't remember if like you wanted to have Iris on or not.
You guys got a lot of listeners on that episode, I bet, right? Like that one
Nah,
really kind of blew the doors
I
off.
don't know if we did, but freaking so when I went to go see that, I made sure that I did a showing when all kids would be in school. Like literally no one else would be in the theater. That's what I was hoping for. I was checking that showtime periodically throughout the day just to make sure that nobody else was in that theater. And freaking like the showing had already started. The trailers are going. I'm like, okay, so there's nobody else besides me in this theater. This is great. Literally like 30 seconds after I thought that to myself, a father and his 2 sons walk in. I'm just like, you got to be fucking kidding me.
You're like quickly zipping up and like buckling your pants buckle again. You're like, everything's cool, everything's cool.
My
I had to
fan
consider myself, guys. I'm sorry. I was pounding off, but I thought I was alone. So in my defense, there were not any kids in the room with me when I was masturbating. But
Oh man,
I put it away as soon as you guys walked in. Don't worry. But also just in case, don't sit in front of me.
Yeah,
Not-
but
you're not
dude, you
occupied
gotta
with people in front of me.
you gotta know who you're bringing to these movies. Like Moana 2, absolutely bringing my kid to that. Like I expect no issues. The one that I'm a little hesitant on, and I'm training her for it. Like I'm making her watch movies that are a little like above her
Pay grade.
demographic. Yeah. But she is her favorite movies right now are Sonic. And so I want to take her to Sonic 3 when that comes out. But I'm also making sure that she's ready for it when it does come out. Because if she's not, then I'm not going to take her. But
Word. I feel like, you know what? I'm sort of iffy on this because like I do not think my kids get as excited about going to see a film in the theaters as I do. And I also think when I don't have very clear memories of being 4 or 5, but I don't remember getting super excited about going to the theater to see a film. Like I might see a commercial for a movie, I don't know, like the fucking Care Bears movie or some shit in 1984 and been like, yeah, that's fucking, I want to see that movie. But like my mom could lie and be like, all right, it's coming out in a while. And then just get the fucking VHS whenever. I feel like I could do that to my kids is what I'm saying. Like after taking them to Garfield and spending $57 to go see Garfield, it's like, what this is supposed to be cheap entertainment. It's not supposed to be a fucking day at Disneyland for a fucking movie that's a piece of shit. Samuel L. Jackson was in that movie and he didn't say one goddamn F word. I paid to see Samuel L. Jackson not say the F word for 2 fucking hours. I can't believe I did that. But anyway, I feel like I could have it's on Netflix right now. In fact, they've watched it once since it's been on Netflix. They were like, yeah, okay, cool. Garfield movie looks cool. But like, they don't see a lot of commercials anyway. They don't know what's coming out unless I tell them, hey, Moana 2 is coming out this Thanksgiving. I could just say, yeah, Moana 2 is coming out next March and just fucking buy the DVD when it comes out.
Well, I think a lot of stuff has changed, especially since we were kids, is because, we're looking at our little, 15-inch CRT TVs that are just nonsense. And then you go to listen, you don't know, your daughters might be like, and I remember the first movie that dad and mom ever took us to, it was Garfield and it has a special play. Cause I remember my dad, the first movie I ever got to see, just me and my dad, he took me to go see, what is it? An American Tale, the 5 movie.
God. Yeah.
And dude, I love that movie forever now. Cause I remember being I remember our little stupid TV and I remember going into the theater and seeing this gigantic thing I couldn't even understand. And I'm like, wait, we can't see this anywhere but here. So I do think there is love lost for the theater in that sense when you have same day releases and you have, you know what I mean? You can watch it on HBO Max and you have a 73-inch TV. It's not something is taken away, but I don't know. I still think even though it is too expensive, I do think there is something good about going and seeing it in theaters.
You make a very valid point when we were young, and it's twofold because the home technology was not as great. VHS was very low resolution, very poor quality image. The television was very small, like you said, and interlaced images and very like 480i and shit like that, like very poor home viewing. So when you go to the theater and it's like superior quality, it's huge, the sound is big and loud, it is very impressive. But I would say that the twofold part is also because it was like 1989, it was like $3 for a fucking matinee ticket. So like your dad could take you for $6. Both of you could see the fucking movie. It's like, I feel like there's a little love lost for the theaters, and that has translated into them being like, well, we need to charge $17 for a fucking matinee now because we still owe $1 billion for all these like reclining seats across the country. And IMAX isn't doing too good. We got to recoup a little dough. It's not like it used to be where movies were cheap entertainment. Movies used to be like going to the theater was supposed to be a cheaper alternative to like taking your family to the fucking opera or whatever else, the highfalutin high society shit. This was like poor people go see movies because we're poor and dumb.
Yeah. My daughter gets really excited for movies. So like I'll show her trailers and then she's like, oh, like when are we going to go see that? And she gets like super pumped. Like
I do that too. I try to hype her up a little bit, but it's to my detriment. Dude. I hype her up. I spent $57 to take us all to go see the goddamn movie. The kids pay attention for the first half, and in the back half, they just want to fucking play with their own buttholes and run around. And I'm like, what the fuck are we even doing here? What the fuck are we even doing here? I've had to change your diaper 4 fucking times. How do you shit 4 times in fucking 80 minutes?
Dude, like she loves the movies so much. Like I started a little scrapbook of like I've kept all the tickets for every movie that we've gone to see together, and so I'm putting it all together in like a little scrapbook for her, and I'll make one for my son eventually. But she loves going to the movies because she knows she gets like the little kids pack, she gets her own drink, her own popcorn, she gets a little candy.
Okay.
And then this is the only time that she and so this is like also the only time that we get her like an icy. So like she knows like when we go to the movies, she gets her icy, she gets her kids pack, and she gets to go see this like super cool movie.
Yeah.
And then I like depending on what the movie is, like afterwards I let her like run up to the front and like dance around.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And so she always gets super hyped about that. But it's a know your kid.
Yeah. And take them to the right movie,
Yeah.
Garfield is cool. Pulp Fiction is not. Yeah.
Yeah. This is why like I said, I'm training her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. It's why I'm training her for a movie that's, like I said, outside her demographic with Sonic 3. Because my brother's going to be in town, and like that movie will be coming out, and she loves Sonic the Hedgehog, and so I'm preparing her for this caliber of movie.
Word.
Yeah.
Training her like Rocky. I got it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right. So we got rule number 7: leave your kids at home unless it's a kid's movie. All right, Jason, what we got for rule number 8?
All right. For this one, I say no refunds. No refunds. Just because you didn't like the movie doesn't mean you get your money back. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Don't fight. Yeah. You know what? Don't be like, hey, I didn't know this movie's gonna have tits in it, and I need my money back because I'm like, no refunds. You bought the ticket, you rolled the dice, you didn't like the movie, especially if you watched the whole fucking thing. No refunds. Get the fuck out of here.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, do you put a time limit on it? Like in the first 20 minutes, if you're like, this is bullshit, can you at least go and like, redeem your free movie for next time, or do you just have to take that L?
I kind of feel like you should take the L if you're just saying this movie's not for me, because like there's so many resources now to educate yourself on a film, like who's it made by, who's going to be in it, what that filmmakers or the films are going to be like. If you're going to see Quentin Tarantino film now, there's like 8 other Quentin Tarantino films that you like could potentially have seen. There's no reason for you to get 20 minutes in and be like, there's too much cussing in this movie. Did that white guy just say the N-word? I don't like this. You know what I mean? Like
he directed the movie. Oh,
I mean, this is coming from me. I almost asked for my money back and left Django. If I hadn't been so pale and worried that they would see me, I would have. I did go see
Hey man,
Django.
why are you leaving, man?
What the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Oh, motherfucker. I'm like, no, my dad is calling. Oh shit.
What about what if there is one of those dreaded emergencies? Caleb checks his phone as he is wont to do, and it's like, get home now.
Yeah.
Then can he ask for a refund or
Yes.
still
I think
no?
in case of emergency, I think if something comes up, like you buy your tickets online and then something comes up and you don't get to the theater, I think they should comp you at least and give you free tickets for the next one, even if they don't give you your cash back. I think it's just in the instance of people watch a movie and then they're like, I didn't get the experience that I wanted when I bought these tickets. It's all about buying the thing, consuming it, and then regretting it and having that like buyer's remorse about it. You have to live with your buyer's remorse, but you know, life happens. There's extenuating circumstances, and you know, you buy tickets a week in advance and then your kid gets sick and then you get sick, and it's like, you know, rain checks are okay, but it's when you watch a movie and you're like, I don't like that Quentin Tarantino fellow after all, and I don't like his films, but I had to watch the whole thing first before I decided that I watched the whole Hateful Eight before I decided that I didn't like Samuel L. Jackson making that boy suck his dick at gunpoint. You know what I mean? It's like, sorry, buddy. Like, it's a Tarantino film. This is the type of thing that happens in a Tarantino film. So mine is no refunds, motherfucker. Yeah. I don't care if that young man did ejaculate on the back of your seat. That completely ruined your experience.
I think you get
orgasm.
I think you get at least 25 minutes to decide whether or not to stay for the movie.
I don't know, man. I think I lose respect for somebody who gets up and walks out of a movie. I'm like, you stick with it. Because honestly, I think a lot of films, I think you have to sit through the whole thing, because a lot of movies, it's like how they come together at the end. A lot of movies will set stuff up and they'll spend a lot of time kind of putting things together, getting the pieces in order. And then the movie will kind of come together in its closing few minutes. The way all of these elements kind of dovetail together, create this like satisfying, where it's like, if you only saw the first hour, you might think like, it's not that great. But then when you're leaving the theater, you're like, fuck, that was The Dark Knight. That shit was good as fuck. Like, it's like the way it ends too can be. So I feel like if you told me like, oh, I watched the first 15 minutes and decided I didn't like it, I'd be like, what the fuck do you mean? You didn't even get to see the resolution. You didn't watch the end of the second act or the third act to see like how this fucking movie resolves the conflict. Like, you can't tell me you don't like a movie if you've only seen the fucking opening credits.
I think the reason I would want that, like, there to be like a limit. Like, obviously, like if you go there, watch like 99% of the movie, and then you're just like, that was dumb, I want my money back. That's bullshit. If you see over 50% of the movie, like, and you try to get your money back, I think that's bullshit. I would rather someone come in, see like that they don't enjoy the movie like in the first 20 minutes or whatever, get up and leave, than have them like feel obligated to sit and then bitch about the movie for the rest of
they gotta sit.
Or pull out their phone because they're bored.
Yeah.
I say put your phone down. You better enjoy the rest of it. You got fucking 5.5 hours of The Irishman left, motherfucker. You better fucking sit and watch it, okay? You piece of shit. I don't care if you do have to poop because you ate a pound of Mexican food before you fucking came in this fucking. I don't care how much fucking refried beans you got going to war in your guts with the fucking pork tamales and the carnitas. You better fucking sit right there and watch the other 8.5 hours of fucking The Irishman.
So building off of that, because when I forget how old I was, but has anyone seen Dead Silence, the movie about the puppets that come to life? Okay,
I think you tried making me watch that once.
You mean Toy Story?
Okay. No, that's Child's Play. No. So when Dead Silence came out, I and I think I was like 8 or 9. And like I convinced my dad to take me to it to see it in theaters, but I couldn't last like 10 minutes into this movie. Like there's a time at the beginning where the puppet comes to life and he rips this one girl's tongue out, and like you see her without a tongue. That image just fucked me up.
I
And
mean,
then
in your defense, there's a lot of movies that I don't make it 10 minutes during, you know what I'm saying? Like,
okay,
that first one off pretty quick, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I was just shocked that I couldn't handle that because, you know, like freaking, I saw like Halloween, Child's Play, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, well, okay, not those last two movies, but like I'd seen those characters in like Freddy versus Jason.
yeah.
So like I had seen like some like fucked up horror movies up until this point, but like Dead Silence was my breaking point. I just couldn't handle this movie, and so like I think 10 or 15 minutes in, lean over to my dad and I'm just like, yeah, Dad, I don't think I can handle this. And so thankfully, like the theater, like employees, you know, completely understood. They gave us a refund and they actually gave me a free TMNT poster, which was freaking awesome because that movie was coming out, I think, the next week. So like, sorry. So Jason, like leading into like that, like say if like you think that someone is like ready for a movie, even though like clearly it's a rated R movie, I shouldn't have been there. But you know, my parents definitely didn't.
Yeah. I say
weren't
take
good
the L.
at
That's the parenting lesson for the day. I think as a parent, I'm always learning. Like I fucked up. Like pretty much every day, I'm kicking myself over something as a parent. I'm like, dude, I shouldn't have done that, but I'm still learning. This is the first time I've ever had a 5-year-old before. And, you know, I'm still new at this and I suck. And I feel like, you know what, you got to take your licks sometimes and you got to walk away from things. And sometimes you're a few bucks lighter and you're just like, you know what, the kid couldn't take the R-rated movie, but note to self, I'm going to give him another year, 2 years, and maybe I'll go peep the movie first. That's what my dad used to do when I was real little. And I wanted to go see some R-rated shit. I want to go see like Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, or whatever. It was like, well, look, like, you know, in theory, I want to take you to this movie, but like, I'm also going to go peep it first to make sure there's not some, you know, really gnarly shit or like a lot of fucking bush or something like that. So, you know,
No, I love that.
so like peep it first. And I'm just saying, like, you know, buyer beware. And if you think you might not like the movie, like wait till it hits streaming. I mean, we got a lot of options. There's the internet out there, so you can look at reviews. You can compare it to other films that you have seen. I think there's a lot of ways to, especially nowadays, especially with all the resources we have today, that you can look into a movie. You can read about it and kind of research it. No spoilers, of course, but like figure out, is this something I'm going to dig or not? And I think you can usually get into a film. Like I said, extenuating circumstances obviously happen. You can get a refund for that shit. But like, it's watching a movie and then like being like, I want my money back. It's like, no, motherfucker, you just watched the fucking movie. Like, I'm sorry you didn't love it, but you just did the thing. You had your eyes open. You saw the fucking movie. You can't come in here and drink my beer and then tell me that you don't want to pay me for my beer because you didn't like the way it tastes, motherfucker.
But it is, I do think it's kind of like food though too. Like you could do your research on a restaurant and order the, you know, what you think is going to be the best dish and take a bite of it and be like, no, I was incorrect.
If you took a bite and you're like, there's a problem with this steak, you could easily like get that problem rectified. You'd be like, hey man, you know, like whatever happened, like this is underdone or overdone or whatever. I don't, you know, but you stop them. But if you eat the whole fucking steak and then the guy comes over and you're like, yo, man, that steak was, you're going to have to take my word for it because it's gone. But that steak was mad underdone. It was fucking disgusting. I found a pubic hair on it. And it's just like, you just want you just want a free steak is basically what you're saying. Like you're at Ruth's Chris and you don't want to pay $95 for that ribeye. So, you know, that's all I'm saying is like, raise your hand early and be like, hey man, there's something wrong with this Caesar salad. Like this definitely looks like the chef ejaculated on this salad. It definitely looks like someone came on this fucking thing. So,
but would you trust a new one if they brought it out to your table?
Definitely not.
Just mix it in.
If you're respectful about it, like, yeah, but if you're going to be an asshole, like
as someone who worked in a kitchen, you can't always rely on your own look. Because just so you know, everyone out there listening, I need you to understand this. just because you are not a shithead to your server doesn't mean your server hasn't been a shithead to the cooks. So you should always be very leery.
Dude,
Good point.
Because I gotta tell you,
enough.
as someone who was a short order cook for a long time, let me tell you that it was no fault of those customers, but I ruined a lot of people's meals. I'll tell you that.
Oh man.
Fucking bring that plate out. You guys are like, I don't even think I saw chowder on your menu. What the fuck is this? Is this a bisque? What the fuck is this all over my food?
So yeah, my helpful tip of the day is if you're going to return your food, just you're done eating. Don't get any new food. Just you're done.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. All right. Rule number 8. I got no refunds. Movies are a gamble. Sometimes you lose.
Yeah, sometimes you got to roll the dice sometimes, and that's life. I like blind buying DVDs too. I'll go out and buy some shit I've never seen for $25, and I'll fucking pop in, and I'm like, I know I'm rolling the dice. I know I'm taking the chance. At least I can resell it on eBay if I really hate it. You know what I mean? Like I can recoup some of my expense. But yeah, I like taking a risk. Like that movie Heretic. My wife was like, let's go see Heretic. I was like, I know nothing about this movie, and I'm not going to look anything up. I'm not going to read any reviews, nothing. I'm just going to go in blind, and maybe I'll hate it. But you know what? If I hated that movie, and I didn't hate it, but if I hated that movie, I would not have said shit. I would have just said, it's my fault. It's my fault for being a dumbass. And I took a chance, and I lost this one.
Yeah.
Well, I think too it changes the older you get, because when you're young and your cash is not dispensable, and you don't have the options like you and I did to just pay for one ticket and watch movies the entire day. If you're like, I just want to take my girlfriend to see this movie, and this is the last, $45 I have, and the movie is shit in the first 10 minutes, you're like, can I recoup this somehow, please? Whereas like now, if you're more established, you're like, I freaking gambled and lost. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be it too. And I just want other people to feel my pain.
Yeah. It's an easier L to take when you have money.
Yeah.
All right. My number 9 is just be nice to the employees. Like they don't get paid enough to deal with your bullshit.
How do you feel about like trash and shit like that? Like you clean up afterward. Like that kind of goes in with being nice to the employees, right? Is like try to be conscientious. Don't create too much of a mess for them to clean up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so
Like,
annoying when you just see like a whole, like the floor is just covered in popcorn.
That's unfortunate.
That pisses me off. Like
that's the thing about bringing kids.
Y'all are assholes.
We mentioned don't bring your kids. This is where some of these rules start dovetailing together. Because my first rule was like keep your bodily fluids inside you. Because that guy always used to have to get the mop after I left the theater instead of the broom. And you're talking about be nice. So like we're all, don't let your kids run amok. But a lot of this is like eventually all of this creates a mess for the guy to clean up or the girl to clean up. So
yeah, I'll fully admit, like one of the first, I want to say that like the second or third movie that I took my daughter to, she knocked over our popcorn bag and spilled it. And I did the best job I could to scoop up what I could and put it back in the bag. Like obviously after the movie was over and we'd finished our popcorn.
Yeah.
But
I would
did the best I could.
I would have like kicked it all in front of me. I would like use my foot to push it all in front of me during the movie. And then I would have left. And as how they stand there like waiting for you to leave and they got the broom or whatever. I'd be like, man, those fucking assholes in front of us. Can you believe all the popcorn that they fucking spilled? Man, gosh, I think I would like start like fucking making up it was this fucking family of weirdo. Like, I think the parent was like beating the children too. Like they were very, wow. It was a really criminal family. It was terrible.
Yeah, like I apologized to the dude like while I was leaving, and I was just like, "Hey, sorry," and he's just like, "Yeah, it happens." Like I feel like I did my due diligence. I attempted to clean it up. Obviously, couldn't get the rest of it because a lot of it went like behind the seats, and obviously, like some of the smaller pieces. I had a 4-year-old or 3-year-old running around, and like I needed to get her under control. Like the circumstances were there where I wasn't able to fully clean it up.
All you got is your fingers anyway. You can't get all of that. You got to let the guy with the broom get the little bits.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's definitely situations like that, but I feel like that's still like kind of trying to be like courteous to the work, like trying to not to make their job harder than it needs to be.
Yeah,
I think that's just good advice for life. You know, like try not to fuck with other people. You know.
Yeah, and I mean, and these people working at the theaters, they're children. Like they, they do not get paid enough to deal with your bullshit. Like they do not care. Like there are 2 movies that I took my daughter to that I do not have the tickets for, and it's because like I ordered the tickets and everything, and I was just like, hey, 2 tickets for this, and he's like, all right, cool. Yeah, theater 6 down the hall to your right, and I was like, oh, do you print off the tickets? And he's like, oh, do you want me to do that? And I'm like, you know what, never mind. I just walked off, and I was like, okay. Like I know I could have put up a stink, but there's like a line.
I'm writing this off on my taxes, so yeah, can you please print that for me? I'm a professional reviewer, you motherfucker. I'm getting reimbursed for this. The fucking Washington Post is I'm going to mention you in that goddamned article because you were insolent. How dare you? Did you just make eye contact with me? Just get on his ass, like get up in his ass, man. Be a diva.
Like they got like other things to deal with, and like whatever issue, like obviously like bigger issues, like yeah, take it to them and they'll run it up the chain. However, but you got like be nice to them. Like if you're gonna be mean to anyone that works there, be mean to like the managers or the owner. Like those people are those people are kind of free game. Like, but like the people that chose to make that a career.
I don't think that was a choice so much. You know, like you get out of jail for after a while. It's like the resume is kind of thin, you know.
Yeah, that's a resort. That's you've resorted to that.
Yeah, but that's my rule. My next rule is just be nice to the employees.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Rose? You got any others?
Yeah. So I feel every movie theater now is assigned seating. It's very rare that it's open seating. So I would say please sit where you are assigned to. Because especially with like big movies, like say like Avengers Endgame, I'm sure me and Caleb would have been pissed off if our seats were taken by someone else, considering we bought those like the night that they went on sale, which was like 2 months in advance. And so, you know, some people will like throw a fit, be like, oh, well, our seats were just like, they were up there, like down there. They were just way too close. And, you know, we got here first. And I'm just thinking like, I don't care. Like it's assigned seating. I bought these tickets 2 months ago. I was ready to buy my tickets when they went on sale. I'm hyped for this movie. Yeah. That's my seat. Get the hell out.
I wouldn't take any of that shit. I'd be like, you don't like your seats? Well, you chose them, motherfucker.
No,
yeah, don't be fucking sitting in the wrong seats. Yeah. I mean, like, look, if you want to fucking, I don't know, I'm not gonna check anyone else's tickets, so like, sit where you sit. But like, if I walk up and you're in my seat, I'm gonna be like, yo, this is my seat. If you don't mind, I'm gonna sit down now. So,
like, I saw a video. Oh, sorry. Go to
no. Go ahead.
I think yesterday a TikTok video of a guy who used to work in a movie theater responding to this girl's video where I forget what movie she went to go see, but she like literally picked like the perfect middle seat, and there was this older lady that was sitting in her seat, and she asked her very kindly like, hey, you know, that's my seat. And she's like, oh, well, I didn't want to sit where I chose, so I'm just gonna sit here. And so she's like, okay. And so she went and told
the hell you're not.
Yeah, right. So she went and told the employees. One of the employees came in and tried to get her to move, and she's like, no, I'm not moving. And she even asked the employee like, oh, can you actually go refill my drink? I'm just like, what the fuck?
I mean, that's the way to go, I guess. If you're gonna not be, if you really don't want to move, like just double down on the entitlement. Be like, hey, I'm not moving. And B, can you go fucking refill this small popcorn for me? And I'm not paying for it, you know.
And then they try to get the manager involved, but I guess the manager just didn't want to deal with it. And so they ended up just giving her, I think, a free voucher for popcorn, and then they reimbursed her ticket.
Oh,
so she had to sit somewhere else, but she got free popcorn and her ticket reimbursed. But I'm just like,
dude, honestly, that's balls on that lady. Because like, honestly, I would bear that grudge. I would like follow her out to her car and be like, yo, I'm about to
Dude.
key the fuck out of your car over this.
Yeah.
Like, is that seat really worth getting your fucking car keyed over? Like, I got a fucking nail gun in my trunk for just such an occasion. I will pop a few nails for your tires, dog.
Dude.
You really want to replace these fucking tires?
I would
tell that lady
ruin
that.
her
I'm like,
life.
is this really worth it?
Honestly,
Oh,
depending
shit.
on the movie, like that woman would live rent free in my brain for the rest of my life until I got adequate
I wouldn't be able
revenge.
to allow that. I would have to go to jail before I let that lady have that on me. Like, I would honestly, like, I'd be like, I'd be like, yo, one more chance. Do you want to get up? No? Okay. I'm fucking going right out to concessions. I'm ordering the largest fucking Pepsi I can. I'm coming back and I'm fucking putting it on her. I'm just like, boom, fucking sitting that now. I'll fucking douse. I did that shit to a dude with beer one time. I had a full beer and he was getting ready to drive and he was talking some shit to me. And he's like leaning out his fucking car window talking shit to me. And he's got the door kind of open, like he wanted to like fuck with me or whatever. And I'm like standing there holding a beer. I got a full, like it's a big pint glass full of beer. And I was just like, oh, you about to drive somewhere? Boom. Have fun getting pulled over. You go smell like beer. I put that whole fucking beer on him and just walked off. I was like, have fun driving home smelling like fucking beer. I hope you don't get pulled over, you piece of fucking shit.
Oh,
Walk right off my drunk ass. I will throw a beverage on a motherfucker. I'll go get the hottest fucking coffee. I'll be like, y'all make coffee at this fucking theater? They'll be like, yeah, I mean, like, we got a coffee maker. No one ever asked for it. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Brew me a fucking pot of coffee. I'll put that fucking hot coffee right on that bitch and go to jail for it. She can call the cops. He fucking put boiling coffee on me. I'm gonna sue him. I'm like, fuck you. Sue me, bitch. You were sitting in my seat. You're lucky I didn't cut your fucking old tits off. That shit, I'll fight. I will fight over that. I'll fucking bite her face off like I'm Hannibal goddamn Lecter.
Holy shit.
I'm fired up on that rule.
yeah.
It was
Dude,
probably
I
staged for
would
TikTok. though.
I would throw her back to her seat. Like, are you shitting me? Like, I'm an equal opportunity offender. Like,
I would sit right behind her and I would masturbate the whole fucking movie. My dick would be fucking raw by the end of that fucking movie. I would be just like the sides of my dick would be just fucking red, like this fucking sweater right here. I'd be shaved. I don't give a fuck. I would sacrifice my dick for the rest of time just to fucking jizz over her shoulder. And fucking, I'd be shooting at her blue hair. I'm fucking old lady. I'm a fucking jizz on your shoulder. I would fucking unleash all that Mexican. I would sit right next to her to make her uncomfortable. And I'd just fucking fart all that Mexican shit. I'd be like, fucking, I had refried beans before this movie, bitch. I'm fucking, you like that shit? You want to sit in my seat, bitch? Fucking
yeah, like
everything.
No way. No freaking way would she get away with that and come out unscathed. Like something of hers is getting fucked up and ruined.
I fucking open my phone every 2 minutes. Fucking flash that phone to her. I'm like, this bitch keeps looking at her phone. Like open it like close to her so like people think it's hers. I'm like, this old lady, she keeps checking her fucking phone. What the fuck is wrong with this old lady? Get the whole theater turned on her. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
I'll just get up in the middle of Django and be like, this old lady just said the N-word. fucking everybody in Atlanta would be like,
I couldn't believe it either.
I'm like, there's 3 white people in this theater, and this old lady right here is one of them, and she said N-word.
Oh man. All right. Well, rule number 10: sit in your assigned seat.
Yeah. And if you don't, like, whatever happens to you, it's fair. Whatever happens to you,
you asked for it.
You asked for it. You did.
Like it is.
Well,
It's like your own. It's like the purge, but you're the only person that the punishment applies to.
It's like that movie Trick or Treat with Sam. You know what I mean? Like if you violate if you obey the rules, you're gonna be safe. If you violate the rules of Halloween, you're gonna get fucked up. And whatever happens to you, you asked for it. You violated the rules. That's all it is. You violated the rules, and we don't feel compassion for you.
Well, it's the thing we all keep coming back to is the shame, right? Because I don't know if you guys have been in the those ambiguously numbered theaters where like you look and like you're like, all right, I'm in row H, seat number 7, and you sit and you're like, oh, 7 was here, but it was supposed to be there, and the actual the person that's sitting there like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Like that's the move. You're ashamed that you're in the wrong seat or the wrong row or whatever.
That's freaking like
you just say
Cinemark
oh,
like
I'm
throws
so
me
sorry.
off
Like,
sometimes with that.
you just be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I just ate all this fucking weed granola. I got no idea. Like, I'm so sorry, man. I'm just fucking, I am so fucking high right now. And I've had a few drinks. Let me just scooch down. You know what I mean? Like you do that and people are like, oh, don't fuck with him. He'll throw up on you.
Dude, you think with how fancy the chairs are in theaters now, they would have the wherewithal to just like embroider a number on the seat?
No, like freaking okay. So I got to bring this up. So American Fork Cinemark, they don't start with 1 on their chairs. It goes 3 to freaking 13. So like I have to freaking count it out just to make sure that I'm getting this shit right.
Oh my!
But the number is only on one side of the chair, whereas at Orem Cinemark it's on both sides, which I freaking love. Like there's no way that you can get your seat wrong.
Yeah.
But American Fork Cinemark, it is only on 1, and you best hope that you either counted this out perfectly or you are a mathematician, because it is a pain in the ass to get it right.
Oh my god!
I always feel that I'm not going to get it right.
Yeah, same. Like that. By the way, that is my worst nightmare, because I don't ever want to be the person that's like checking my phone, eating the loud food, doing the whatever. So like once I'm in my seat and I'm reclined and my shoes are definitely still on and and I'm ready for the thing to start, and then someone comes up and is like, I think you're in my seat, and now I've like popcorn all over me and freaking jujubes everywhere, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, now I gotta get up and I look like an idiot. I'm like, I'm so sorry, please, I didn't mean to be this person, but I've already soiled your seat. I'm so sorry. And that's it. Like no one, they just think you're an idiot and you move on with your life. It's fine.
Yeah.
Not only do I sit here, you refill my drink now.
It's like that. What's that razor? I forget the name of the guy, but yeah, but it's the one that's like, never attribute to malice that which can be explained by ignorance or stupidity. So it's like, if you just get up and you're like, I'm sorry, I'm a fucking idiot, then people will believe that you're a fucking idiot and not that you were like maliciously trying to steal. They're not gonna be like, oh, that guy over there, yeah, the fucking idiot with his dick out of it, and he's fucking he smelled like Mexican shit.
Stealer. Look at that.
He was lying. No, they're just gonna look at me and be like, yeah, he's a fucking idiot. I can tell. He's obviously just couldn't fucking count.
He can't even count from 3 to 15. Look at him.
So wonder that dumb idiot wasn't sitting on the fucking floor
with the rest of the detritus. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
bro, got detritus on you. I hope it's not my turn, because I think I am plumb out of rules. I feel
I'm also tapping.
Yeah,
you guys have outlasted me in this marathon, and I'm tapping out. I feel like I've cussed about it. Like, what else could you do wrong in a movie theater?
Besides,
like not much else.
I don't know, like the Aurora theater shooting or something. Like, don't bring a gun. I don't know. Like, don't dress like the Joker and show up to like the fucking Dark Knight Rises and try to shoot people. How about that?
Literally, or listen, maybe if you want everyone to act better, or at least here in Florida, we have like there's no rules for like open carry now. You can just do that.
Yeah.
So maybe everybody just open carry to the theater, and everyone will be nice and quiet. No one will get up in your face.
Yeah.
They're in your
seat. Are you going to steal my seat
up.
if I got a fucking Glock on my hip? No, you're not, because I'm going to air you out, you old bitch.
Yeah. So there you go. That's my last rule.
You want to steal my seat? I'm 100% your Huckleberry, motherfucker.
Oh my gosh. Just splash her with water and watch her melt.
We're fucking dueling in the fucking street like it's goddamn OK Corral. Fucking, I hope you're quick to draw your fucking pistolas, because we're in Florida, you motherfucker. You better be Buster fucking Scruggs with that fucking gun, because I'm gonna fucking blast you, you old bitch.
Oh, bitch.
That's when you just whisper crazy shit to her, just scare her out of your seat.
Yeah. You just sit down next to her, you're like, hail Satan.
Just like, or just sit right on her lap and be like, this is fine. I like this better.
hog the armrest and just like lean into that armrest. Like, make sure she hears you breathing. Like,
oh man.
Start blowing your nose on her shirt.
There you go.
Dude, one thing I heard a drill instructor say.
What did you say, Caleb?
I said one thing I heard a drill instructor say to scare the shit out of someone was like, that was mouthing off. They're like, it's pretty brave for someone within coming distance. You're like,
Oh
what?
my god!
Damn.
I dig it, man. I could come at you right now. You better fucking watch it now.
That is diabolical to say to somebody.
Dude, it wasn't even like said loudly. Like he just walked up and like got next to this recruit's ear and said that, and then he like just completely like shut up, shut down, and we asked him later like, what did he say? and he told us.
You don't
And we're
want to
like,
know, man.
yeah, he was like, holy shit. Yeah,
That's
like
awful.
yeah. What about you, Rose? You got anything else?
Nah, I got nothing.
Yeah, I think I'm tapped out too.
Look, it's 10 rules. It's like the 10 commandments. It's like the 10
Yeah.
commandments of
There we
movie
go.
theater etiquette. And I think if you follow these rules, chances of you getting fucked up in a theater are pretty low.
True. Very true.
Yep. So going through these rules real quick, starting off with number one. Number one is shut the fuck up. Number two, if you have to check your phone, be quick and shameful. Number three is don't pregame the booze or any other recreational substances, and absolutely no firsts. Number four is if you wouldn't do it with the lights on, don't do it with them off. Number five is don't be a stinky bitch and keep your shoes on. Number six is on time means before the trailers are done and show up on time. Number seven is leave your kids at home unless it's a kid's movie. Number eight is no refunds. Movies are a gamble. Sometimes you lose. And number nine is be nice to the employees. And then finally, number 10 is sit in your assigned seats.
Perfect.
That sounds about right.
I think we did it, fellas. I think
we did it.
We should,
Now
We need
let's
to
print
forward
these
this
out
to-
and just put them all over our local theaters.
Yeah, I was gonna say we need to forward this to the CEO of AMC and Regal and all those other ones, and we're good. Let them know.
Yeah, I may not want to tell him about how many times I've ejaculated in his theater stuff. I think I'd like to maybe do that thing they do on the TV shows where the guy's like he's a silhouette and they do the machine to mask his voice, and then I'll feel more comfortable having that discussion with the CEO of because he could
It
probably
went
press
over
charges.
the back of the seat.
I don't know what the statute of limitations is on some of these crimes, but I want to make sure that I'm well outside of those before I cop to them.
Yeah, you definitely admitted to at least one crime tonight. for sure.
Yeah. No, I mean 2. Yeah, right. Because I admitted to using drugs. I admitted to using drugs that are illegal and federally illegal, at least. Decriminalized in New Hampshire and legal in Maine, but whatever. They're federally illegal. And then I also admitted to sexual activity, getting blown and jerked off. And I've never penetrated anybody like vaginally in a movie before. I'd like to try that before I die. I'd like to have vaginal sex in a film soon. I'm gonna try that.
Soon is better than before you die.
Moana 2, here I go.
Moana 2.
once those kids' eyes gloss over and they're watching Maui, I'm gonna pull the wife aside, like, hey, they're not looking.
Ugh, that shiny song, it really takes on a different meaning.
And you freaking finished the Rock saying you're welcome.
Oh my God. How did you know what I do on a daily basis?
That's when your wife is like, really? A minute and a half. That's all you got? You're like, what can I say except you're welcome? Kept it brief for you. Kept it real quick. In and out. Bing, bang, boom. I'm going to go eat some of this popcorn now.
I've been told this is a compliment.
Oh, hell. Well, yeah, this is definitely the 10 quickest ways to not get jacked up in a movie theater. And I'm glad that we've had this moment to like just decompress and like talk all this shit through. It is borderline therapeutic.
Absolutely.
It has been nice. I haven't shared my story about ejaculating in theaters. So that was good to get off the chest.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, I think that wraps up this week's episode. Thank you, DJ and Jason, for joining us this week.
Yeah, I'm sorry for all your listeners. I'm sorry, guys.
Don't be sorry.
Man.
That was a blast.
Yeah. Hey, it's rule number 8. If they listen beyond a certain point, like that's on them. They take the
That's
L.
on them. Yeah.
Like honestly,
Yeah,
for
you
people
don't
that have like
gamble,
listened to
man.
us for like a couple episodes or even like years, like this is the content they expect, even if it's just me and Caleb. Like it's not far off from what we talk about.
Yeah. But anyway, you guys want to tell us where they can find you?
Jason.
I was going to let you go first, DJ, but thank you. You can find me on a nice little podcast called Pop Culture Mass. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple. It's on all the motherfuckers. Or hit me up, youtube.com/@movie mass. Hit me up, man. I fucking yell about stuff on YouTube. It's cool. Go, don't subscribe. I'm at 69 followers. I'd like to stay at 69.
We'd love to make it to 69 subscribers. So, go check out the Untrained Eye. Get us up to 69. It's going to be great. My wife
2025, come back.
Listen, there is rumblings in the Untrained Eye studios that we might make our victorious return. So it has been a year. So
Let's go.
Do it, and you're cool.
So I don't know. Go listen to the Untrained Eye at Untrained iPod anywhere you want to see me not post anything.
Hell yeah.
All right. And you guys can follow us and subscribe anywhere you listen to podcasts. We are on all social medias as well. Just search at the All Bros. And you can also do that on YouTube if you want to follow us there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, next week, I think we'll finally do that. Or what are we doing next week?
Are you guys going week to week again, or are you going bi-weekly?
Dude, I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Because I thought I missed it, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's to be discussed. Oh, looking at the calendar, we just had our podcast birthday.
Hey,
really?
Yeah, it already passed on the November 14th.
Whoop, whoop.
well,
And
damn
we've
it,
been
feel bad for not celebrating. I'm sorry, man.
It is what it is. No, but this show's been going since 2017. So was that 7 years?
7,
That's a nice
yeah,
long time.
7 years, right?
Yeah. But yeah, so next week might be a little too early to do either Moana or Wicked. So maybe that's the week that we'll finally do the Wild Robot.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that movie. It's been like 2 months since I watched that.
It's been a hot minute. But yeah, so you guys can look forward to that or whatever else we happen to do next week.
Yeah.
But until then, this has been the All Bros podcast featuring the Untrained Eye and Pop Culture Mass.
Woo!
And we will catch you guys next week. Deuces.
See ya.
So long.
Thank you, DJ.
It wasn't even. I did it terrible. So long. I can't do it.